Velina mai kako. Welcome to Keep It Aloha, a podcast that keeps aloha by eating poke, not pokey. I'm your host Kamaka, and we aren't doing the hokey pokey. It's poke, like Pokemon. Kiko Pao. We got a legendary guest today, but before we introduce him, I gotta let you know about something super exciting happening this weekend. We have partnered with past podcast guest Joe Jitsukawa to make a special Keep It Aloha drink at his business, Junbi, the #1 matcha spot in Waikiki. The Keep It Aloha matcha latte includes matcha, whole milk, mango puree with real lychee and lihimui syrup, and the Keep It Aloha refresher includes coconut milk, mango puree with real lychee and lihimui syrup, and will launch on Saturday, November 29th. We will be doing a meet and greet at his store at the Royal Hawaiian Shopping Center, so come by to talk stories and try out this new Ono drink. All right, let's introduce our guest. We're calling all local brands, artisans, crafters, and designers to come be part of our Kaka'ako's biggest holiday shopping experience of the year. It's Salt at our Kaka'ako's annual A Pinch of Salt happening Saturday, December 6th at 10 a.m. at the barn. It's pet friendly too. To join in, email Mark Factora, that's Mark with a C, at clientservices@sixpillarsmarketing.com. And that's 6, the number 6. Text 808-457-0155 or visit saltkakaako.com under the event tab to apply. When reaching out, please include your name, business name, best email, and Instagram or website. I'll be there. I'll be selling some Keep It Aloha merch and my book. So keep it aloha, and we'll see you there. Our guest today is a legendary chef and TV personality from the island of Oahu. He is widely recognized as the Godfather of Poke and Hawaii's culinary ambassador. He is celebrated for helping and developing and popularizing Hawaiian Regional Cuisine, helping introduce authentic island flavor to the world. He's a James Beard Foundation America's Classic Award winner for his former restaurant in Kailua-Kona and a founding contributor to the Hawaii Regional Cuisine movement. Over his decades-long career, he's authored numerous cookbooks, starred in TV shows, and infused Hawaiian ingredients and spirit into everything he touches. This father and husband is not slowing down anytime soon. Most recently, he was featured in 2025 episode of Ono, Hawaii's food culture, where he shares a story of poke from the roots in Hawaii to its global reach. He also served as Grand Marshal for this year's Aloha Festival Parade, celebrating his lifelong service to food, culture, and community. I could go on and on praising him for another 20 minutes, but let's get into it already because I'm so stoked to talk stories with him today. He is Sam Choy. Aloha, Sam. Welcome to the Keep It Low podcast. How you doing?
Aloha, Kamaka. What an honor. Thank you so much.
I stumbled a little bit on that intro.
No, that's okay. That's all right. That's fine. You know, I mean, God, I stumbled.
I just got back from vacation.
That's okay. I kind of stumble over my plate lunch sometimes. Don't worry, man. That's fine.
I don't stumble on the plate lunch. After eating the plate lunch, I cannot attack a little bit. That's the part I had struggle with.
That's okay. But well done. Well done.
Thank you. It's so awesome to meet you, and I'm so honored to have you here on the Keep It Low podcast. You are the legend of all legends, the OG.
Thank you. Well, you know, OG has two meanings. One is the old guy. What's the other one? Oh, God, he's still alive.
I was going to say Oahu grown.
Oh, no. That's fine. Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. No, I watched you growing up on TV. We were talking a little bit before this, before the podcast, and you're saying if I saw this recent thing that you did, and I was telling you, nobody watches TV anymore.
Yeah,
we all watch streams and,
yeah.
The clips on social media.
Yeah, you're
but
right.
I remember, being with my family, watching your TV show, watching you on other TV shows. My mom actually has your cookbook, and she still uses it to this day.
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah, thank you, Mom. Shout out to Mom.
Yeah.
So she wanted to make sure that I say that.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, you've been a part of not just my family, all the families in Hawaii and beyond for years and years.
Yeah, I can share my beginning, my humble beginning, really humble, because, my parents are very local. My mom's German Hawaiian. She was a Meyer. Her side of the family has brought a lot of great, interesting things to Hawaii. Our great-great-grandfather, Joseph Kekuku, if that rings a bell with you.
The
steel guitar, yes.
Oh.
That's my mom's family.
That's crazy.
And the German side, the Meyer, my mom's German Hawaiian. The Meyer side was instrumental in introducing or creating the pressure cooker to extract the sugar from the cane to make the raw sugar.
Oh,
If you go to the Meyer Museum in Molokai, you see all that there, yeah.
no way.
So, yeah, I got that there. And then my grandma, my mom's mom, was being trained in England to take care of the queen before she was put into the way they did what they did. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm excited to get into
Yeah,
all
so-
of it. Let's start at the beginning. Where are you from?
Yeah.
Where are you
so
grad, and what was it like right now?
I'm from Laia, Oahu, born and raised, Hukilau Beach.
Yeah.
3 islands out there.
RR4L.
Yeah. Red Raider for life. Goat Island. And I always ask my mom, what come we was named Goat Island? She goes, well, they used to have goats on that island way back when, right? So we used to walk out there. Great island, right? So we used to go out there. And then, of course, there's Middle Island, because I used to surf. Who didn't surf or played in a band at a school that I'm going to mention later? Well, you're right. But anyway, Middle Island, and then there was Lizard Island, the island with the hole in Laia Point. So, growing up in that whole area was just magical, That's where I had my first introduction to raw fish. Not at my mom's and dad's kitchen table. I was dropped off on the weekends over there at the boathouse. There's a boathouse there. Because if you think and look back into history, Laia had a hukilau there. They had a luau. And it was a perfect setup because the bay was there, and they took the nets out, and the tourists at that time pulled the nets in, and they had all the fish and stuff like that. And it was in that bay that when my mom then dropped me off at the boathouse to be babysat by the fishermen there, they would throw the net, and they caught some moili, baby mois, and skinned it, took a piece out, dipped it in a salt water, and put it in. I was about 8 years old.
Wow.
And put it in my mouth, and boy, I tell you what, I've never forgot that taste. The sweetness of the freshness, but the saltiness from the ocean, it was just magical. And it's really funny, like anything else in culture, right? I always say this story too, but I'll get into that story after I explain this poke bit with you. That drove me to not stop making poke from that long ago. And I got to go and harvest the limu out there in that bay in, Hukilau Beach, and of course the two sides of the bay. Manuel, Lipepe, Limukohu at Goat Island, and over by Laia Point, the limu would be hanging over the edges of the papa, the reef. And, it kind of like never left me. And even as I go back there as a I'm grandpa, I always make a point to kind of look for it out there, And, I kind of like see spots where it used to be just covered, and of course now it's not, But, so, kind of like never left me. And every chance I get, I'll always make poke, and I've always kind of like, and very good on saying it, poke,
Yeah. I hear pokey. And
it's dangerous.
Sometimes I go, outside of Hawaii, and I see some of the stores. And they get the
P-O-K-I.
poke with the E and the little accent mark at the top.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and even on Ono, this the guy was saying it, poke, man, that's kind of dangerous. You don't want to go to the Philippines and say that. but anyway, so that drove me really hard to but without really making it like I have to, but just naturally, And growing up in our house in Laie, for some reason I didn't take notice when I was young, but all the kids would come over to our house around 4:30, 4 o'clock, and my mom and dad always had big pots, and I was wondering, like, you don't think about it until you get older, then you start putting two and two together, and then you realize, like, oh, we're feeding the kids. So that's what happened. So parents that was kind of like struggling would drop the kids off, and my mom and dad would be like, making a big pot of stew, chili, heka. My dad was like the gun lo min champion. Everybody at parties always made my dad cook the noodles, the fried noodles, the Chinese style. And so, it was really interesting. But, living in that time and that era really gave me what I am today, the humbleness, but more importantly, the real true part of, hey, we're from Hawaii, And that's why I always explain this story, about where East met West. They met right here in Hawaii. And the reason I say that, because when we were, growing up, and of course Hawaii was noted for the plantations, the cane, the sugar cane, the pineapple. So they needed the workers. So along with the people that came over, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Filipinos, the Portuguese, all that ethnic groups that came to Hawaii, along with their culture, what did they bring? They brought their food. So we're so blessed. When you look at a plate of food today, you'll find 4 or 5 different mixture of flavors, but more importantly, the different cultures that came with their culture, they brought their food. So for us, to me, it's like a kid in a candy store. We get the real wow factor right here. And so and that's why it's so funny when I cook all over the world. I just want to shout out. I did 30 years on Crystal Cruises. Way before any other chefs had been on it, I was on it. Wow. Circled the world 4 times over. My wife and I, and our kids when they're young, our 2 boys when they're young. But I made a dish and they go like, oh, what's that? I've never felt like ashamed to put a bowl of poke in front of a bunch of European chefs. Because they got their style of raw fish. They got salmon, they got their gravlax salmon, they got the herring in Rotterdam and Amsterdam. They got their raw herring. Hey, why not our poke, right? So I was never ashamed of our food. I always introduced it. I always put it out there. And some people went like, wow, what is that? I said, oh, it's raw fish, cubed raw fish, and that. But yeah, so I look back at it now, I still feel like there's a lot more. I'm so proud of seeing all these poke shops all over doing really good rice poke. A lot of other good local people that are doing poke on the mainland. It's just not only a blessing to Hawaii, but it is truly a dish from Hawaii that's out there right now. Yeah. Instead of the luau food. Yeah.
Yeah. I think just the idea of food, not only is it just amazing, we love to eat,
Oh yeah. Hawaii's
it fills
all
us
about
up,
food.
but it brings people together.
Oh yeah.
Right? Whenever you go catch up with somebody, you do it over some food, right?
Yeah.
You after work, we go grab lunch with some
That's
friends,
right.
right? We talk stories, we connect. And then you can educate people when we have people that visit, right?
That's right.
Oh, let's go try some Hawaiian food.
Yeah.
Let's try all this stuff. And Hawaii, I think, has the best food in the world.
Yes,
and
we
because
do.
it's so diverse. You
Yes,
can
we
get
do.
pretty much, you can get pretty much everything except really good Mexican food.
Well, Mexican food is only in Mexico, and I love the food out there. I mean, if you've ever been to Oaxaca, man, that's
you're about to go. You're about to eat some good Mexican food.
I go there every year, man.
Yeah.
My sons go out there and fish out there every year, and I'm so blessed to be part of that great food and wine event out there at the Four Seasons and the St. Regis, right there on the coastline in Punta Mita. And it's the event that's amazing, but it's more amazing when we go into the towns and get the street side tacos and all their culinary great finds out there. Just amazing. It's just wow, But anyway, you're right about Hawaii. Music, food, culture, entertainment, only in Hawaii. I mean, the feeling of just the gathering, I mean, I almost want to vote to change the name Thanksgiving to extreme eating. Because every time you invite people over for Thanksgiving, let's start off with Thanksgiving,
Yes,
right?
and this episode is out on Thanksgiving.
Oh my God!
So we're happy
perfect.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, and
Forgot
happy
to mention that.
But anyway, one of the interesting things is that when you tell people come over, they say, okay. I said, don't bring anything, because we got it all covered, right? You know how it is, right? Local people want to make sure there's enough food. I mean, they walk in with pies. They walk in. Now we get 3 turkeys. Oh, they get ham, salads. So what we've done in the past is just get everything wrapped up nice and put it in the fridge or keep it there. Because when they leave, they're packing it right out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and that's when I told myself, hey, we should change the name of eating, what you call Thanksgiving to extreme eating.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of eat till you go into that.
You kanaka at least twice a day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge turkey fan.
Yeah.
I like Thanksgiving because, I get
The
to hang out
gathering.
with my family.
Yeah.
Usually I fly back to Hilo. My
Right.
family's actually coming up here this year.
Oh,
But
nice.
I just watch football all day.
Yeah.
I get excited for the sports these days. And then, I'll have a little bit here and there. I like the sweet ham and the yams.
Yeah.
I'm not
all the sides.
Yeah, I'm not a
sides.
huge like. I'd rather see him plate lunch.
Well, I mean, I've changed I've changed not only my eating style, but I was also changed the potato salad. I mean,
Okay.
everybody's always did. I call it a canoe salad, canoe crop salad. The ulu, the sweet potato, the
Oh, you
kabocha.
put ulu in your?
Oh yeah, it's
Oh, I never had
amazing.
that
Oh,
before. Yeah.
very good. I've been doing that all over the place. I go
I've
out.
never been to one of your restaurants.
Oh yeah, well, it's all on the mailing, but I do that all my events that I do. I've always done. With the Ulu Co-op, that's really making it accessible for people all around the world now.
I love ulu chips.
Oh yeah, Ulu chips
Yeah.
are the best, and taro chips. The best is from Hilo. There's I go to Tio Lani's. That's the Hero family. They sell Lays there.
Yeah.
She has a friend that makes the long taro chips.
Oh, yeah. I've
with
seen those.
the garlic salt.
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my God! If you haven't had it, you gotta go get
check
it.
them out,
It's
yeah.
really good. But yeah, so and those are the kind of foods that you cannot find in any other place, but in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And so coming from Hawaii, being a chef, it's real important for me to carry on the legacy of our food, but take it out there because not everybody can come to Hawaii. So that has always been my real magic. Even when I designed for American Airlines, I've always had that touch, and hopefully I get another airline working right now. But
Hey, Hawaiian Airlines,
oh, I don't know, man. It's
Alaska,
yeah,
United. What else we get?
Yeah, United. But the interesting thing is, I like to showcase our food. I'm proud of it. I mean, I'm proud of our culture, the music. I mean, how can you not sit there and listen to a Maka Sans or, I'm talking about traditional Hawaiian music, right? Or some of the songs that had performed and other groups. I mean, it's just so magical. And so I think a lot of it has been part of my success, living to that motto of, tasting it. Try this, sample this. I got to tell you a funny story. So years ago when Danny Noy was in office and Senator Akaka, and back then, I got invited to the National Food Fry. So the National Food Fry is a big event in Washington, D.C., where in Washington, where chefs from all over the state or countries come, and not Country Comfort, but the band. But anyway, you're too young for that group. But anyway, the interesting part was that they bring their dishes from their home. Paul Prudhomme would be there, Wolfgang Puck would be there, some of the more Texas chefs would be there, and of course I went there. I got invited, and what do you think I made?
Poke.
I made poke, 450 pounds of poke.
Some big poke bowl.
Yeah, and so at that time, poke was kind of like not even a whisper to those guys out there. And what was so funny, Senator Akaka had made sure, like, hey chef, if you come, bring some poi, of course, I said yeah, and then had what's his name from Samoa? He was Hunkin, he was there. And anyway, they were the only guys around my pop-up, right? And I'm going like, oh my God, this is embarrassing, man. Wolfgang Puck lines around the corner. Paul Prudhomme, with his Cajun food, just lines around. So I told my guys, I said, hey, we got to put a little sampling in a little cup and go around giving people. Hey, they loved it. But, it still didn't bring them back to the line. And I was worried. I got 400-something pounds of fresh island poke. We're mixing to order. And I says, hey, I'm going to change it, man. I'm going to call it fish tartare. Like steak tartare, right? Everybody knows that. So I went, hey, we got fish tartare, so the girls and, our team there was going like, hey, we got fish tartare. Hey, guys came lining up. Next thing I know, man, our 450 pound was going down, down, down. We wiped out, But it kind of broke my heart to say, get to change the name at that moment to call it fish tartare. This is over 40 years ago. And of course, today, they know what poke is, I think,
Thanks to you.
yeah, well, it's a bunch of people, but thank you. But, and, there's like 200 plus stores in Asia, in Europe, and there's a bunch in Asia now. And of course, every continent has, every state has poke somewhere. I haven't heard of poke not in a state yet. But, thanks to the poke guys who are out there doing it, and I always tell and I try to make it a point when I go into a store to say hi, even if it's all ex-L&L workers that are doing it, I always make it a point to say hi, and I don't have to say who I am because I'm no biggie. But and I'll sample the poke. I would like to see Chipotle do poke because
Ooh.
they got a
Chipoke.
great Chipotle. Yeah,
Chipoke bowl.
On record here, I can't say I'm not off record because we've been broadcasting right now. I love Chipotle. It's so funny. I go to Cleveland, do a big event out there at the UH Sideman Cancer Center. My mom died of cancer, so give back to cancer research. There's a bunch of chefs. I got introduced to them through Wolfgang Puck years ago. And I met some other new chefs, and they said, hey, chef, what can we get for you? I said, Chipotle, a nice salad bowl, right? They looked at me and goes, no way. I says, yeah, I love it. Yeah. So they went back and they brought me like a couple of them. For flying, that's the best food to have on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I just wish we could get one here in Hawaii.
Yeah.
We don't have one here.
Yeah. I know you're going to Denver, right?
Yeah.
Colorado. My friends used to live Colorado, so they would go to Chipotle or Qdoba.
Yeah, Qdoba. Yeah, right.
They love that place.
The two chains.
Yeah.
But that's just some of the foods I like. I keep it very simple. I've gone to many, many high-end restaurants, Michelin restaurants, out in, Morimoto's restaurants, Nobu's, and all those restaurants like that. But I'm a hole-in-the-wall kind of guy, Same. I just love the little hole in the walls. I think there's a lot of heart in their food, and they're trying, And I've always been a real big supporter of food trucks, I think that's a very uniqueness. I think food trucks were born in Hawaii, although everybody had them. But I think in the plantation days, I remember growing up in Laia, there was a Japanese family would come around, ring the bell, like, on the road there. And they had the block ice where they had some fish on top of it, not like crushed or what. And, some produce and stuff like that. And, of course, the kids like us, we all go for the candy.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I want to share one story. The mosquito, you ever heard of the mosquito truck back when?
No, I don't know that.
Okay, so I think it was a city and county. They have the mosquito truck would be blowing out smoke to, like when there was stillness, in the weather. Okay. They would be driving down the street and the back would be just full with all the
spray.
Yeah, not the spray, the smoke, like the fog, right? We'd be chasing it, not knowing that if we kept doing that, we'd be dead. I mean, maybe some of the OGs out there listening to that probably laughing under their breath, But yeah, we used to do that. The pine trees, not the ironwood pine trees, but the Norfolk pine trees. Cut it like the night before, and all the sap would come out. We'd take the sap, put it in an old carnation can of milk, the empty cans, put our slippers on top and walk around, like.
Oh, it's funny, like you got the high heel stills.
Yeah, we used to make our own, not skateboards back then, but our own little, wheels with the old, skates and come down the hills. But anyway, those are growing up days,
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
so you had fun growing up in the year.
Well, in our family too, my mom and dad, kind of like raised us very strict, education was a key, not to come home with something that didn't belong to us. And, and it was really interesting. In a community where we lived in Laie, 3 houses away from us was the Stant family. David Stant, who is one of the coaches at Kauku, but his dad, his grandma, and his uncles, they were the famous kulolo family. They made kulolo. And so every Wednesday they put the kulolo down into the imu. They do in cans, right? Mm-hmm. And they'll do like anywhere between 20 to 30 cans of kulolo. So the Kauai, they would get the taro from Kauai, and the mama, Elena, would be grating the taro, peeling it, and then, of course, grating it. I mean, a lot of work. And the boys would be grinding the coconut, squeezing the coconut milk. When you look at the recipe, it's very simple, Coconut milk, brown sugar.
Takes a long time.
And then the taro, right? And had this big stainless steel vat. Everything went in pakini, the round pan. She'd have all that all grated, covered with, the old rice bags. And then the next day, dumping it in. But the interesting part, that job never stopped. Because as the imu went down, covered, the next day, take it out. They clean the imu right at that time, line all the rocks up and everything. They got to make sure the inventory of the pine tree, the wood. They didn't use calvit, they used ironwood, coconut. They had to go get coconut, pine wood, bananas for the putting on the rocks, and the bags. I mean, it was hard work. And Chun Hoon, I think, was one of the biggest buyers of the kulolo. I mean, that's why for me, the kulolo that they do on Kauai, pretty close, you know. I mean, I used to go and help them, not all the time because we had to go to school, but in the morning when they're taking out the kulolo, I'd go help them, and in the afternoons, on not Monday, but like start from Saturday, then Sunday nobody worked, and then Monday, gathering stuff, peeling coconuts, cracking the coconuts on a Wednesday, a Tuesday, grating, and then squeezing the coconut milk. I mean, it was hard work, nonstop, the way they did it. And then lining all the cans with the tea leaf really nice, then pouring the batter in certain amount of batter, because if it too much, it hoods over. That was the best part. The ones that hooed over, like went over the can. Man, I tell you what, the crispy part, it's like the Filipinos with the rice. Oh, man, that's good. Or the bibimbap in Korea, in the rock, the crispy part of the rice.
Yeah. I like that.
Oh, man. I can talk food all the time, but anyway.
I know, you're making me hungry.
But yeah.
Everybody's going to be hungry watching this.
Kamaka, so growing up in that time, that era, is really, and my mom really always told us to talk. And that's what I lecture to the kids today. They're great communicators, but they're great communicators with their phone. You got to follow out like what we're doing right now.
Aloha.
Yes, and visual, eye to eye. And it's great to use the phone, but emergency or communication to a certain amount. But these kids, they live on it. They do their homeworks on there. They're checking this. They're doing a test. They're getting all answers from that. You can't learn that. When you really get into a position where you have to follow out, this comes out. It's like one of my mom's family, the Aquins, was so funny. The kids would be home and, they said, oh, so-and-so in call. What did they say? I don't know. Because, they can't, communicate, Yeah. I'm not saying that they didn't do it like that. I'm not trying to say that. But that's the challenge today, And then they don't even, you buy a house or you do legal documents, you got to learn to, write your name and everything. Cursor.
Yeah. Cursive signature. Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, they don't teach cursive.
I'm shocked. Yeah. But anyway, that's the new world. I guess.
Yeah. Well, speaking of school, what school did you end up going to?
I graduated from Kailua High School, and I'm very proud of it. Go Big Red. They got great teachers out there. They got a great academic side. We don't want to talk athletics, but they got a great academic program out there, and the kids there are very well mannered, very respectful, and Junior IU, who's a legend out there, we call it the private school. When guys ask him, where did you go? He go, I went to the private school on the North Shore. And they go, what school is that? He goes, Kailua Red Raiders. So I've been kind of playing up to that too, but I don't know. You can take it differently. But yeah, I went there. It was a great school. I mean,
was football always good?
Football was always good. We took champions our year.
Every year was good.
And we was the centennial year at Alvin Morera, Saleh Ayu, Junior Ayu's brother. He was a junior. He ran 4,000 yards his junior year. Because we had a good offensive. I was the center and the punter. Alvin Morera.
Wait, you were center and punter?
Yeah.
When do you ever see that combination?
No, I was center just to the quarterback one. I wasn't a long snapper. We had William Pukai. He was my long snapper. But, we had a great offensive line. Bruce Lindsay, Lieber Lindsay, they were all part of the team. Alvin Morera, Paul Coburn, Willie Lolofia. Paul Pali, our quarterback was Jamesy Hayola, was a baseball player, but the coaches kind of gathered him in and taught him how to, be a quarterback because he had a good arm, he could throw. And we had Saleh and Edward Schweitzer, Kanoa. That's what his name is now. He changed his name to Kanoa from Edward Schweitzer. He's a Hawaiian lecturer now. But anyway, it was a great school. It was fun, I mean, like any school today on Oahu, you have a lot of great schools out here today. Castle was always our, team that and Kailua. Kailua had the...
Were they good back then?
Oh, yeah. Castle, Kailua, yes. Castle was good. They had Aloha Louis. He was one of the great linebackers. And then, of course, over in Kailua, they had a lot of great athletes out there. So that was pretty interesting. And back then, that was like the rural OIA, that was called, Wailua, Kahuku, Farrington, all those guys were all more ILH, right, back then. And then I'm glad the way they did it now. You know, you have just mostly the private schools being in the ILH, and then the OIA is pretty much all the public schools.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, and then of course I live on the Big Island now. Of course, you know, Konawaina, Keao, Hilo, Kohala, Kealakea. You know, our senior year, we went to Kohala and played.
Oh gosh, I feel bad for Kohala.
Oh, it was like 44-0 the first quarter.
We would do that too, Kohala. Like I think for football or soccer. Soccer, I know for sure. One time we played them, it was like 10-0.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty
rough,
that's boss up.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, so we went to Kohala, but we got in trouble there because we had Luke's Hotel. There's a little hotel out there called Luke. You know, you take these country kids out of the country, man. We were wild.
But you're going country to country.
Yeah, but man, you know, we're like filled up never had a swimming pool, so we made the bathtub the swimming pool. So we flooded everything. There was a guy named Tommy Alona. He was jumping trampoline on the bed, broke the bed, the spring. I mean, it was bad. The school got a bill. I think that was the last time Kaoku traveled for a long time. You know, 2 days are different.
They just paid off their debt last year.
I think so.
Trip.
I think so.
That set them back 40 years.
Exactly. So, you know, we're going deep into history of my life. And, you know, swam at Hukilau Beach was magical. And then, you know, kind of like rode a little motocross up there in the mountains of Kauku in Laia. You know, and then there's a hill up there. It's called Burning Hill, which was a nice grass that we used to go up there. You know, so from the mountain to the sea was a way of, you know, living and enjoying it, you know. And one of the funny things was getting up early in the morning and beat some of the elderly ohana, the ladies. They go look for the glass ball because they're big. You have plenty of glass balls washing up, you know. And so, you know, in the morning you'd go. If you see footprints, don't even go. Oh. That means somebody already been there, right?
You're too slow. You're too late.
One time, me and my good family friend, Randy Solomon, Nani, we call him Nani Cool. We're racing for. He was faster than me because I was a little sluggish. You know, I was like a slow guy. I mean, we're racing for a glass ball, nice glass ball. I ended up tripping, so I could get the glass ball. Every time I think about that, I was like, man, that was fast thinking, man.
Did you get it?
I got the glass ball.
There you go.
Yeah, but, you know, I kind of like think about that. That wasn't really smart on my part, you know. And then the other thing was seasons, right? We used to fight tops, marble, shooting agates. We call them agates, right? Marble. Yeah, so where my cousin Imbert Soren and them live had a big banyan tree and all dirt around. So that was the gathering place for all the kids. I mean, it would be like 3-4, you know, piles of guys fighting tops, trying to split the tops.
What is the tops?
So you know, like pogs? No, not pogs. The tops are like, you know what a top is, right? You got the little screw, you tie the string around, and you throw it, and then it spins. It spins.
Yeah.
You know, you got yo-yo, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I know what you're talking about.
Not like yo-yo.
That's like the old school Beyblade.
Yeah, exactly. What do you call them? Beyblade.
Beyblade. They had the thing and it go. They hit each other. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay, so you know that's you guys. Beyblade is your guys' era, but I was fighting top, and we go to get an old spear. We stick it in, make a big spike in it, and kind of like three blade it. And they'll be like really sharp. When you see a guy come with that, you go like, okay, 'cause if he splits your yo-yo, you're done. I mean, you're done. So that's how big that was. I mean,
people could customize it.
Yeah,
and make
exactly.
Did it have to be a certain size or? Like?
No, just whatever size that would be comfortable for you. Wrap your string around, and then if you can whip it down, and just so what you did, everybody stuck there. Everybody took turns, right?
Yeah.
Everybody had their own colors and everything, and then you stick your yo-yo down in a circle, and then the guy whoever was up and he would throw his yo-yo. I mean, it would be a nice time if you throw it and nothing split. Mm-hmm. Once you see that thing open, you're done, right? And you got to go and bake for it, or work hard to get it. We didn't bake. We had to work to get things, right? Yeah. My dad was always important to work, doing chores, you know. I mean, today everybody's like this, but our days, man, you have to work, you know. And that's why for me, too. So I was really blessed to have that quality of, working, not afraid to be, like standing back. Just get in there and do something, yeah? Mm-hmm. So, like, I want to move on to my career, being a chef, worked at Crouching Lion as a dishwasher.
And this is after you graduated high school?
Yeah, after I'm jumping more ahead of that. So after I graduated from Kauko High School, I kind of went to college to try to, my career of football.
Oh, you played football?
I played football 1 year in Columbia Basin Junior College, because that's where it was kind of like a pipeline to University of Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
So if you didn't have grades, which I didn't have, so I had to go to college, junior college. And we went to Columbia Basin because, like I said, I think it was Bob McCray. I think he was the coach, one of the coaches that kind of like had that pipeline to University of Hawaii. You know, back then everything was you want to play at University of Hawaii, but of course, you know, I mean, if you don't have it, you know, academically, and if you don't have it, you know, in physically structure, it'd be rough, right? So we figured, you know, go there. I was a punter, so I was basing myself on being a punter, you know. But you know, I went there and it was rough being away from home, you know, missing the food, just missing, you know, and especially the way I grew up, man. I was always in the beach, always down at the Hukilau Beach, and of course, you know, the bay there, a great bay, right? And you know, home and stuff like that. So I did that semester, and after the season, I moved back home. And you know, my dad, being strict as he was, you know, he said, "Well, there's choices you got to start doing. You find a job, or go back to college, or you know, maybe kind of like move out or stuff like that." And I looked at
military. Was that it?
Oh, military was in it. I got drafted.
Oh, wow.
I got drafted, and then I didn't pass the physical. You know, I had hypertension, high blood pressure. I mean, I was kind of like starting to blow up by that time, right? So then I went to LCC, Last Chance College. You know, I went there, and it was so funny because I went there not for cooking. I just went there to just go to school to get my dad off my back, right? To kind of like, okay, I'm back in college. And then, of course, you know, graduating from Kauku, Windward Community College. I don't Windward, but Last Chance College, LCC. I shouldn't call it Last Chance College, but Leeward Community College. Respect for them. And,
I've heard that before, though.
Yeah, I learned that from Joe Coco of the Macau Sons. Yeah, he told me that's Last Chance College, LCC.
Hey, it's funny. Funny is funny.
Yeah, funny is funny. I like that, right? Hey, you think we can be like two more? Maybe.
No, he's way funnier than me.
Oh yeah, we're not as witty. Yeah. But anyway, went there for like not even a semester. So I used to go, you know, because it was on the North Shore, right? So I used to go, you know, to the North Shore, stop, hang out at Sunset Beach, go Waimea Bay, swim, you know, in the summertime when it's nice and flat. And I'd come home and my dad go, "How was school?" I said, "Oh, it's good." Then my mom, one day, she was cleaning the car. She my little bug. She goes, "How come you get plenty sand in this car?" I said, "What you mean sand?" I said, "Oh, I picked up some hitchhikers and they were surfers." "Yeah, on the driver's side." I go, "Oh." You know, she goes, "Are you going to school?" And I said, "No." She goes, "Don't let your dad hear that." You know, my mom always had backed me up, right?
Nice, shout out, Mom.
Yeah. So anyway, that didn't work. So then I fell into the go work stuff, right? And then my mom said, "Oh, Kapilani College." At that time, they were in Pensacola, not what it is today, right? Pensacola, Walter Shees, Siegfried Wiggins was there, Mrs. Ho. She taught Chinese cooking, Mrs. Fuji. That's when I was there, right? And I went there for like, you know, one semester, a little bit, but then I was already cooking because my mom and dad did a lot of cooking at home. You know, we entertained a lot. My mom cooked all the holidays, man. It was amazing. My dad was like an artist in the kitchen, you know, chopping really nice. And cooking at that time was just like a hobby for me. I just go in and help them, right? Not really like, you know, I want to create something, Mom and Dad, but no. And then my mom reading the paper, "Hey, Kapilani College, you know, culinary school. Mom get a degree and this and that. Hey, why don't you go?" I said, "Where's that?" "It's Pensacola." So my mom drove to Honolulu, got me registered. She got in line. She got me all hooked up and everything. And then I went the first day in the semester, man, all, you know, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. And they had a summer program going on. It was almost at the end, so they had a big buffet. I walked in, you know, the walk-in, the refrigerator. I opened the door, and all these nice, you know, this girl from Lanai, can't never forget that. She had a pineapple, and all the shrimps all, you know, stuck on the pineapple. Really nice. You know, that was her centerpiece to, I guess, her part of the buffet, right? I took a shrimp out and went, "Wow, man, this is, you know, this is like, you know, I'm from the country, man. I see food, I'm gonna jump in, right?"
I like seafood. I see food and I eat it.
Yeah, exactly. So to me personally, I share that story, and I share this story to a lot of people. But maybe your millions of listeners will kind of go like, "Wow, I've never heard that from Sam." But it was like love at first bite. So what I did, man, I just kept eating all the shrimp, and the next thing I know, I kind of made a nice hole on that side. So I turned it around. I tell you what, man, when she came in there to get her shrimp to put on a buffet, and she saw that big emptiness on one side, she started crying. I went, oh my God. And I threw all the toothpick under the refrigerator, typical, right? Hey.
And she never knew it was you?
Nobody knew because
until this then, she doesn't know. So she's watching this, she knows. Would you like to tell her anything?
That was me. I'm sorry. But yeah, so, I really enjoyed it right at that moment, And then, of course, working with, Walter Sheese at that time, Siegfried Wiggins, teaching us the European, and Mrs. Ho. She was classic. She was, typical Chinese, but man, she was very focused on making sure we knew how to chop the vegetables. But for me, it was kind of like a waste of time because I was already doing that at home with my mom and dad, right? So I felt at that time that, oh man, I don't know if I want to, hang around in this school. But you had a lot of good students in there, And I bumped into some were bus drivers, some are retired. And then, you get to, and then I read my good friend from Hauula, Joseph, not Joseph, but Talafasin, Dicky, Richard. We became good friends, so we'd ride up together to go to school,
Carpool kind.
Yeah, carpool kind back then. Stop in Kaava, get the kalu pig and rice, and go on to Honolulu. And then I kind of faded away from going to school. So my next alternative was to work, find a job. So I signed up at Crouching Lion.
What, like tour guide or something?
No. Cook, washing dishes.
Oh, the restaurant.
The restaurant.
I always automatically think of the actual height.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Yeah.
I just did this earlier this year. My friend had a birthday, and he's like, we meet in Crouching Lion, and I'm like, do we need? But then I heard do we need to wear Aloha shirt and everything? I'm like, why are they wearing Aloha shirt and dressing nice to go to the hike? And I was so confused. But then it's the restaurant,
right? Because everybody goes up on that hill, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, went there and went to the interview, and the guy tried to trick me because I was hiring for a cook's helper, right? But I didn't get it because he tried to trick me. He goes, so what temperature do you want to serve the vichyssoise? So vichyssoise is a cold soup. Mm-hmm. I said, well, I've never had it hot. It's always been a cold soup, but so that I wouldn't know what temperature to serve it. Then he just kept his head down, He's going to throw some trick questions to me. But I was already, akamai to food. Mm-hmm. Coming from my mom and dad, we kind of went out to dinner on certain times of the week. My sister went to Kamehameha. So every Sunday, we had to drop her off by 5 o'clock. We'd go to a movie at a Hawaii theater way back when and have Chinese food right around there. And then about 4 o'clock, we head up the hill, right, to drop her off. So that was kind of like every Sunday when they were in school, right? So we were already educated. We knew, I knew what was, food, basically. Maybe not to cook it, but to eat, to order to eat. So yeah, so for me, food came like a second nature, right? So when I was at Crouching Lion washing dishes, I really loved it. I was like, wow, nobody's talking to you. You gotta keep the stacks of dishes down. No dishwasher those days, right? Mm-hmm. You had the 3 different sinks, one with the sanitation, the soap, the hot water for the rinse. Boom, stack them up nice, turn them upside down, all the water dripping. Loved it. And then all of a sudden, my mom goes, hey, Turtle Bay, going to hire. I said, Turtle Bay, what's Turtle Bay? Oh, the hotel. I said, oh, that's what it is out there, they're building. Because we used to go surf at Valsey Land, John's Reef. Not like today, Waimea Bay, Pipeline, Sunset Beach. No, it was the small stuff. But even then, those days would get big, or we surf right around the neighborhood in Hukilau Beach. But anyway, she said, yeah, go apply there. So I went, I applied, and I got hired. I got to share this story. This is an important story to my life and my success. So I got hired, and they said, was in April, and they said September would be the first day you guys come to work. September 1st. And that time, they're just transitioning the people from plantation to hospitality. Because 1970, the plantation shut down. 1972, they opened Turtle Bay, And just to kind of sidetrack a little bit, I cannot believe it's a Ritz-Carlton now.
What was it before?
It was Del Webb's Kuilima. Yeah, back then. You wasn't even born. Your parents probably wasn't even born. Yeah. But it was Del Webb's Kuilima. And then, of course, it was just, Turtle Bay after that, right? So anyway, got there, first day of work, all excited, And my father, Dad told me, son, you got to learn good knife skills. You've worked in the kitchen with me in the house. You see I cut all the vegetables, the julienne, the dicing, all perfect and everything. That's why I love cutting. I can cut. I love cutting and I love cleaning, dishwashing. My wife probably falling off the chair when she sees that.
She said, really?
But not cleaning the floors and stuff, but the dishes. I love doing that.
That's different categories.
She's probably going like, just what you said, really?
She's going to be the first one to comment on that episode. He's a liar.
Yeah, he's a liar. Oh man, I can't believe he just lied on your podcast. But anyway, so
you get good knife skills, not good life skills.
Yeah,
that's not what you said. That don't matter. The rest don't matter. I tell
you what, Tumo, what's up, bro?
Coming for you.
You get one young Tumo over here.
I'm older than Tumo.
You are. Yeah. You look younger than him.
Yeah, because I'm not Samoan. What is he? Samoan. Yeah, I'm not Samoan. I'm small. That's why.
Oh, nice. You gotta eat some more poi.
Yeah, I know.
Not boy, poi.
Poi for me, this boy, for this kilo boy.
Yeah. So anyway, I kind of studied that all summer. So I was in my mom's yard chopping up all the rose plants. Oh, she got messy. They chop the banana leaves, chop the tea leaves, chop anything, but don't chop my roses. Don't chop the things that I plant. So I said, okay. So I had cleavers going, I had knife going, just cutting away. And I had all that excitement, all that momentum going. So I get there, first day of work, all white pants. They tell you white pants, white shirt. Had my knives all rolled up, all excited. I get there in the kitchen, I look around, man, wow, nice red clay, floor, real big kitchen, professional kitchen. Butcher area, all the stoves for the sauce, the roasting, bakery at their own area, the big, like a Ferris wheel kind of bakery oven, right, Wow, pantry, all the cold stuff on one side. Man, I'm like, whew, this is amazing, this is big time, I get there, look on the list on the wall, get all the schedules going. I'm going down the schedule. I'm going. I don't see my name. Then I go, maybe I went too fast because I'm too excited. So I went real slow. No Sam Choy. So I knocked the window, This girl sticks her head out. Not open the door, just sticks her head out. She goes, can I help you? I'm like, yeah, I'm Sam Choy. I was told by HR to come here and I'm today, and I was hired as a cook's helper. And I don't see my name on the, on the schedule. And she okay, let me check with the chef. There's Emile Bertrand, man. Never forget that guy. French. Big nose, pencil in the ear, big eyes, The two guys were talking like this, and I'm still looking. I'm just double checking, making sure that I don't make a fool out of myself. Nope. At the fourth time going over it, no Sam Choy. So she sticks her head out and she goes, oh, go to that door there. So I went so I was here. The door I walked in was this way. She told me to go to that door. I said, okay, that's good. I'm not going out the door I came in on, right? You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like that, right?
Yeah.
So I opened the door, had this big Hawaiian guy, Hank Owana. He was the chief steward, the guys who cleaned the kitchens and, dishes, pots and pans. And I went okay, this looks good, but doesn't look good. And this guy, John Peck, came out, this Howley guy. He goes, you're Sam? I goes, yeah, they just called us, said that you're going to be the new pot washer. Oh, my heart just sank, I was like, man, at least 2 months of cutting, dicing, excited, telling people, I'm going to be a cook's helper at the new hotel. No. Oh, I was like, I don't know about this. Then I said, I'm going to walk. I'm going to quit. I'm not even going to go to the pot sink. I turn around and look. I see some guys I know in the community, right? And, coming from Kauku, man, we're not quitters, right? I went, well, I'm going to work these 8 hours and I'm not coming back. Make believe like I just, I found something else. I didn't want to walk past these guys that were, So I went there and had this old Filipino man washing. He was small. The pots were bigger than him. So he's right there. He looked at me all smiling and everything. I said, hi. He said, hi. I said, hi. Then John Peck said, okay, you're going to wash this side and he'll take care of that side. You got to make sure the water temperature is this much. He took a glass and he said, you see this color of this water? It looks like a light tea. That's the chemicals in there. You got to be this much water. Like today all automatic, right? You got to be that color, this and that. And the temperature of that got to be this hot. You think I was listening? I wasn't even listening. He told me 2 cups of the soap, the detergent. I dumped that whole gallon. Hey, I had bubble. It was like on bubble bath. I had bubble going all over the place, man. He
Back to your Ka'u days, your Ka'u trip.
Yeah, exactly, man. I was like out of control, you know. But anyway, did that, and then came home, you know. My mom said, "How was it? How's your first day?" Moms are moms. I tell you what, man. I was sitting in my bug, man. I looked at her. I said, "Mom, I think I quit." She goes, "Why?" I said, "Well, I'm not a cook's helper. I'm washing dishes. I'm not washing. I'm washing pots and pans, you know." And she looked at me. She started telling me, "You know, if you're gonna pursue this future, or you're gonna be in the kitchen, that might be a not bad idea for your foundation of moving on to the next levels, you know." And I tell you what, I don't feel tearied up, but when I tell that story, usually I'm tearing up on it because I can see my mom leaning into my bug and telling me that. But because I'm with you, I don't want to be tearing up at this podcast.
Sorry, we got tissues over there.
I know, I see it right there, but don't worry about it, don't worry. So, you know, within the 10 minutes of her and I going back and forth, and, you know, and of course, you know, it kind of not only sunk in, but it kind of mentally and physically kind of like I went and jumped over the side of, yeah, this might be perfect for my foundation if this is what I want, you know. And I share this story now to a lot of kids because I had a program called Finding the Connection, where it was the hardcore kids, and that's my next level of things I want to do with a program that I will talk about that's coming up on the Big Island. But the interesting thing is that when I went back there, I was a total different guy, you know. And that's why I always share that story, because sometimes you cheat yourself. Because if I hadn't gone back, till today, I probably would have been just a runner from job to job to job to job, you know. Because I pursued my goal by that 10 minutes of talking to my mom. You know, should I say that I would never do this? But yeah, you know, it's just that 10 minutes of just her talking to me and telling me, you need this. And I tell you what, she was right.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need that outside voice, right? Somebody to encourage you, just to do that.
And I think about it on and on and on. Not even in a year it don't go by if I'm doing something with kids and I can feel like, okay, I'm losing this guy. I sit him down. Let me tell you a story. You know, you come back, I got you. So going back the next day, man, brand new Sam Choy, man. I was washing and scrubbing and helping that Filipino guy jumping on his side, stacking and everything. And then a chef would come up to me, a cook would come up to me, I need this pot right away. Can you get this for me? I said, I got this. Scrub it real clean, wipe it up, take it back to him. He comes back with a little bowl of this. What's that? Oh, this is good. Oh, that's a beef stroganoff. Because back then, a lot of European chefs. Oh, that's beef stroganoff. Oh, wow. Oh, what is this, yo? This is a bechamel sauce, a white cream sauce. I got a book at home with all those recipes from those guys. I wrote everything down. A little book, but this big, but that thick. All the recipes. And I got that book in my archives. And, you know, I tell you what, I look at that turning point of my life, that's why I'm here today, sharing this wonderful story to your million viewers and listeners and streamers. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing that, because it's so inspiring. And to see how much success you have, then reversing and hearing all the behind the scenes of how you got there, it's amazing, because we see the highlights on social media. We see the success.
Right.
But not all the time we hear the struggles that, you know, took place just to get here.
That's
like,
right.
I didn't know you started at the bottom.
The bottom.
That
man.
is in the kitchen industry, like, or the food and washing dishes. That's at the bottom, right?
And you know, and that is my best part of the kitchen. I just not the floors. I got to make that clear, because my wife's watching this. She's gonna go like,
yeah.
But yeah, I like washing, man. I just love, you know.
Well, holds a special place in your heart, because like,
you know, that's
your roots.
That's my roots right there. That was my seed planted right there in my success in life, right there. You know, and you know, it's been a great life. And some of the questions people ask me, would you do it again? I said, I would be the first one in line. Yes, I'd do it again. You know, it's been good to me. I was gonna share that with my my life hack, but I'll jump ahead. I got millions of it, but I would share it like, you know, work hard, enjoy it, have a little fun with it, And then my next step was the breaking point was the breakfast cook that I used to help. When I used to organize my kitchen, my pots and pans really good. I'd go run on the room service was cooked like right where I was. And I used to go in there and help him cook. Was Dennis Dela Cruz was the cook at that time. I jump in there and help him, flip eggs and do all that kind of stuff. And then Domi de Guzman, another Filipino guy from Ilikai, taught me how to, work the breakfast side. All in between on my own, like. And so when Dennis got sick or got hurt, the chef came flying out of the office, says, "Hey, can you help cook breakfast?" I said, "Yeah." And that's how I got my start. Then I was pulled out of the dishes, and I started cooking right there. And then, man, I just went from there to where I am today, just from cooking,
That's a good lesson because
you're
always prepared.
That's right. Always prepared. That's right. But the good lesson was I could have cheated myself if I just let the localness in me. I shouldn't use the word localness in me, but if I let the stubbornness in me just walk away from it. Because then I would have been a runner. That's what I call a runner. You go from one job to another, And that's why for me it's really important to reach out to the young generation and really give them that opportunity to feel that magic that I felt and I got, And not everybody going to have mom and dads because they're all going to come either from, not all. Some of them will come from broken homes and some of them will be raised by grandma or grandpa or grandma. And so it's important that that's fine too, but it's there for you, I mean, when you really think about it, you can do and you can become anything you want in life. I just, saw Kurt from, Maui, the baseball player. He's going to be a manager now for
Suzuki.
Kurt Suzuki. He's going to be a manager now, Hey, that's a blessing. How many great baseball players we had come out from Goten Wong, Shane Victorino. I mean, so many great baseball players.
Isaiah kind of Filippo.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I mean, all these guys, and if you look at what they just did to Kurt Suzuki, man, that's a blessing. So that tells me to tell the young generation, if that's what you want, it can be done. You think about it now. Maybe years and years ago, he was throwing catch with his dad. Oh, signed up for Little League. Played Little League. Oh, maybe he did kind of like community games, where they put some teams together, played in that. Then high school. Went through high school in Maui. College. Blistered through college. Got drafted. Major League. Today, he's a manager, GM for a Major League coach for one of the best teams, I think, in the Major League Baseball. That's why I said, on his little thing there, in the near future, California Angels. I only went to Kauku.
Yeah. Private school education.
Private school education. So everything in life is there for all the kids today. I mean, let's put it this way. You can earn, you can do, and you can get anything you want because it's there for you. If you put this, and you just put your drive to it.
Amazing.
I share that because that's what happened to me. I just keep, and then of course, it's not only me, man. I got a surrounding team.
Yeah, it takes
my sisters, my mom. Yeah, it takes a community. Yeah, it takes a village, right? And of course, my wife, my kids, my grandkids. They all. How about the grandkids, man? They're rough. They're rough. You guys rough out there, but yeah, but they're good kids. But yeah, so it takes all of that and. And being passionate, you got to be passionate.
I mean, if you weren't, you would have stopped a long time ago and did something else. Right?
I just, I can go to an open market, and that's how I check the DNA of a country. I want to go to an open market. Go to Singapore, go to Jurong. They got their wet market. They got their produce markets. Man, I just want to go there. I want to see, because once you go through that, you can see what the DNA is of the culture of that place. Same like if you go to Kauai's open market, you go to Hilo's open market, you go to Waimea's open market, you go to all those open markets, you can look around, you go like, okay. So like I'm like a kid in a candy store when I see fresh produce, And I take my hat off to Alun Farms and Larry Jeffs and all these, guys who are growing stuff and all the local mom and pop places and the coffee growers and the Ulu Co-op, who has taken our food to another level. We got stuff now in Costco that would normally be shipped over. And we got stuff now. I don't want to just use Costco, but there's other stores that, kind of like got local produce. It's so important to support the local produce or the local food movement, I look at the Hamakua Coast sitting idle. That should be just the bread basket, Parker Ranch. That should be all the bread basket for the food for, you're a Big Island boy. You can see all the farms we'd be growing there, like how you see out there over in Kapolei and all in that Kuni and all this area.
Drive by,
you see all that stuff growing out there. Maui, look at what they're doing to Maui now, all the limes and stuff like that. Yeah, so all of that has built my career to be very exciting,
So what was the turning point of like going from that to finally getting a shot to be a cook or assistant? What is it called?
Yeah, a sous chef, yeah.
And then to the chef you are today.
Kamaka, seriously,
yeah.
Hard work, and not look back at the learning curves. Because once you do a learning curve, once you go do a mistake, what do you do when you do a mistake? You learn from it,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So once you learn from it, you just move to the next level. Because life is all about learning. No matter what in life, if you fail, dust yourself, get up, and go again.
100%.
I've not watched a professional person, whether a musician or an entertainer or an athlete or a business person. Hey, you get down, get up, but just look back and say, now how can I learn from what just had happened? That's it.
Yeah, I mean, think of these basketball players. They shoot one shot, they miss. They're not going to be, I'm not going to shoot anymore, right?
I'm done. Yeah, exactly.
Kobe Bryant will take 40 shots in a game and make only half of them, but he keeps shooting.
I got stuff from Kobe Bryant in my house. I mean, it's been a blessing to have met him, cooked for him. He mentioned me in Sports Illustrated.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, did a dish for them when the Lakers would come to Hawaii. I got Sandra Padilla, the chef, used to be with them, the Lakers, and cook for them, him.
Oh.
And then, of course, now she's with a Spanish player that plays for the Sacramento Kings. So it's nice to have touched people that have done very well, And I always believe the 2020. The 2020 it's like 20 people would love your podcast. They would love it. But then 20 would go like, So what you would want to do, Kamaka, you want to surround yourself with that 20 people that like you. Because why? They're going to tell 20 more people. And that 40 people are going to tell 20 more people. Then it becomes 60. And next thing you know, this thing's on fire. Your podcast is on fire, And that's always been the 2020. Because you never can please everybody, Hard work, humble, caring. See, that's almost like my outtake on, my hack. But that's okay. I got a lot more.
Yeah. And just aloha.
Keeping it aloha. That's the key. Yeah. And that's why I always tell people, if this great country was founded through Hawaii first, wow. Can you imagine?
Totally.
Man, we'd be living in a wild world. Think about it. There's a lot of things we watch from the outside looking outward. And we go like, we never would do that in Hawaii, And it's because of our culture, our DNA. Of course, you can see it changing, but I don't want to say why it's changing, because it's changing. So we just have to keep it more local.
Yeah, and the responsibility comes on to us in our generation to exude that aloha and keep rooted in what our values and traditions are, so that the next generation, they don't go off any kind and make trouble to everybody.
And if Kamaka, when you follow the history of Hawaii, Princess Pauai Bishop, Lilio Kalani, all the kings and everybody, when they gave on their papers to give Kamehameha School to the kids of Hawaii, that's serious. And then now you got infiltration from other people. Hey,
crazy.
That got to be stopped.
Yeah.
We have taken enough already, the Hawaiian
right?
people. Enough is enough. This is our own little world. So we don't want to, and when you look at the Hawaiians from way back when you look at Jason Momoa with Chief of War, that great show, the Hawaiian people were out there already. They were traveling. They were doing things. They were gathered. The word kapu was way ahead of the game. Hey, when like Noah Thompson and them are re-educating the world and re-educating the younger generation on the ocean travel, stars, and how to get to point A to point B and all that. Hey, that's the highway. That's how they got to where we are today. So when you think about it, when they use the word pono, you got to be pono on those canoes. You can't be, I hate that guy, but that'll never work, And that's why for me, we've taken enough. Enough is enough. This is it. This is Hawaii.
Yeah.
So we have to protect the Hawaiian people. We have to protect our culture. I mean, either by music, by food. And that's why for me, every now and then, I get kind of, if I'm in a lecture somewhere in the mainland, most times all in the mainland, and I'm out there sharing our Aloha, sharing it with food, sharing it with a little music. When I was on Crystal, I'd always play the Makasans or some of the other great groups that, Is and all those guys. And I play the music. What kind of music? I said, that's Hawaiian music at its best, right? And then turn around and I do my lecture. They go, oh, what a great demonstration. Because, I was blessed to look at the finished side of things and look at the beginning side of things, because that's important in life, right?
Yeah.
And so when I think about the Hawaiian people, we are so blessed. But we have to be blessed in the way where, we have to make sure our guards are up, but at the same time follow the rules and regs, right? But at the moment, and the most important thing to me, I'm just speaking, let's just be one big voice. And let's enjoy Hawaii, and let's share Hawaii. But more importantly, let's educate people about Hawaii.
Exactly. I mean, I love educating. I love sharing. Food and culture is the same to me. It's better shared.
Yeah.
Right?
It's better shared.
To be able to share this awesome thing that we love with other people and then give them that same happiness and joy. Right. There's nothing better than that.
Hey, let's be honest, man. I've been to many birthday parties on the mainland. I can only eat carrot sticks and celery and onions and stuff like that, and potato chips and dips. I mean, one pass, that's it. But in Hawaii, man, when you go on Baby Luau, Kamaka, come on.
How many times you going back into that line?
Oh, man, and you got great food, man. I mean, I've seen families give their heart and soul to the Baby Luau, the birthdays, the first year birthday, or even the weddings. I mean, we throw down. We throw down. I mean, the music, you got the local group on the stage going, the halaus dancing. I mean, you go like, oh, only in Hawaii. Yeah, we got to keep that. We have to. And that's why sometimes it bothers me to see how expensive things are in Hawaii, because the more higher they go, the more people from Hawaii have to move. And that's the heartbreaking. I think E.M. Tongi, when he said that on national TV, why'd you leave Hawaii? Priced out of paradise. That is so true. I mean, when you look at the list of cost of average homes on Maui, I mean, not only Maui, but they had it on just recently. Somebody had posted it. I said, I kind of responded a little bit to it. I said, no wonder the locals are moving.
Yeah, and you don't know how crazy it is until you go somewhere else. Because I remember last year I went to Arizona and we were going to the grocery Target.
Yeah.
And seeing milk and bread and the fruit and vegetables so cheap. We're like, is this real?
Hey, come on, you right.
I got probably 20 more things than I would do at my regular grocery trip at like Costco or anywhere here. And it was like $100 cheaper.
Hey, my wife and I just had 2 bags in a local store in a Big Island. Starts with a K. Let me tell you. Hey, $68, 2 bags. I'm like, how much?
The brown paper bags.
Brown paper bags.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yes. Yes, $68 for 2 bags. Not full, not even had meat in there. And so when we talk about that, but something got to be done.
What can be done though? Because we
basically,
talk about
we complain,
but
just stop them from gouging.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like you, man. Now I know you're very, very smart. Because when you travel and you go and compare prices, that's what I do. I would go to a store like a Riley's or some of the local chains, Vaughn's, whatever. Bread, rice, sugar, milk, and one more thing. 5 things I look at. I can't go Spam or corned beef because they don't got them in their stores. And I look at the price and go, and eggs. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, eggs, yeah.
Man, this is like, man, you know how much we pay? And, they always use, it has to be shipped over. Of course it has to be shipped over. But, it's like watching them buy fish from the fishermen locally. the fishermen that go and buy fish or sell fish, all of a sudden, you get your check from the fish vendor.
Mm-hmm.
You go like, God, I just got $1 a pound. Then you go to a market, $18 for that same fish that I sold. Who got the money in between?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you go to the doctor, you got to eat more seafood because, how can you afford seafood when it's $18 a pound?
Yeah.
So I am very adamant about that. We got to really try to turn that around. And they're wondering why the people are leaving by the droves away from Hawaii. I was just in Dallas and looking at some of the homes, just kind of like, $285. I look at the house and go, oh my God.
Mansion, 5-bedroom,
swimming pool,
4.5-bath swimming pool, 2-car garage.
Yeah, and then some of my classmates who moved to the mainland from a very young age, they got kids all got educated out there, doing very well, nice homes. I'm like, hi, me, eh? I think the hardest move was the first couple of months of crying when we left Hawaii, but that was the hardest.
Yeah.
But now we love it. You guys want to go back? I go visit family. That's about it.
But I guess that's the price of paradise, the trade-off, right? Because, would you rather be sad somewhere else? Sad over here with everything that we have around in your family and the beautiful culture and food and views, or, somewhere else happy in Texas,
Yeah, as much as we talk about that, but, for me, I'd never leave Hawaii.
I'd rather struggle here than anyone else.
And the good thing about what we're talking about is that it's real. Mm-hmm. And the other great thing about it is we're not the only ones going through this challenge, And how do you fix it? Well, it remains to be seen, But I'm here for the long haul. I want my ashes scattered, around the islands or somewhere, or in the backyard or down the toilet, or in a bunch of empty cans and throwing them over the bridge. Might be loitering, but sorry.
It's all right. We'll make an exception.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. But that's just the way I feel,
Yeah. Well, so how did you end up becoming the Sam Choy of business as well? Because yes, we know your success in cooking and all of it, but then you also had to learn business along the way, right? And then you have so many different avenues of
business. I'm
income.
not the sharpest knife in the drawer with business, but common sense does play a little role in it. But kind of like just reading, and I'm not a good reader too. Ooh, that's even scary there. But just kind of understanding, the relationship of the deal. I think that's important. And then your vision, looking at where you want to be. Like when I first got to go to New York to work at the Waldorf Astoria, that was kind of funny, sitting up on the 34th floor, looking down, seeing all these yellow cars, all the taxis, the sirens going up and down 24/7, and pinching yourself, going like, is it real? Is it real? Man, I just came from Kauku, man. The only thing that was going up and down was the cane trucks, You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so the vision part of it was a real important part, Kamaka. Just the sight, setting the goals, setting the standards, and then bring one of the most hardest thing or easiest thing I have is to work hard. And I think that's where a lot of local people achieve their success in hard work.
I agree. I talk about it in my book.
Yeah. Well, you got a book?
Yeah, it's my book.
Oh my God! I hope I get one.
Yeah, I get it, but you don't know how to read, so I got you an audiobook.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there's an audiobook available.
Oh man,
so no need to read.
Now you're way ahead of the game. But yeah, so going back to all of that, it's basically just the part of hard work, and the part of just setting the sights high. My dad always had a saying: set your goals high, because when you fall, you're falling on the roof.
Yeah.
And another thing he always told us, he told me most of the time, because I was home working with him in the store. He had a little grocery store. If you pay for peanuts, you're going to get monkeys. So I always kind of like those sayings, And you might not remember, I always use this, you might not remember what you ate a year from now at the restaurant you went to. And you might not remember what you ate from a year from now. But you'll never forget how you got treated. And that is so true.
Yeah, there's a saying that I share that I learned when I was in the Peace Corps. It was from, I forget who it was.
Is it in your book?
No, it was. I shared it on the podcast before, but it was like, you people will forget what you say, they'll forget what you do,
Yeah.
but they'll never forget how you made them feel, right? And that's always like, for example, I I don't really remember the specific things I've watched you on or the shows that I've seen recently with you, but I remember, oh, you was always super friendly. I remember you had so much aloha. I remember you connected well with everybody that I saw you with on TV, and that's what I remember. Like, oh, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
That's what I remember from you.
You know, Kamanka,
Yeah.
I tell you what, that is one of my blessings or blessed to have. People who I've met like for the first time, that's exactly what they tell me. Oh, I never knew who you was till I sat on back on my chair on the plane, and I kind of went on the internet, and I said, oh, this guy's a celebrity. He's Wikipedia. He's this. He's that. He's a James
You
Beard.
get his own dressing.
Yeah, he get his own dressing. Yeah, you're right. He's coming back. He's coming back. But anyway, you don't really know that until people tell you. It's like when I get introduced, they start talking about me, and I went, "Did I do that? Really? Is that me? They're talking about me?" But yeah, just overall, I think the most really nice thing about that is, you don't stack it up. You just kind of like just keep moving on. Imua. I love the word imua. Just go forward. Keep going. And I just I got to go back to saying that I am blessed. Got a great family, great wife, hardworking wife, great friends. Great circle. That's what I call circle, right? Great circle. And the family is really important, right? But people that meet me for the first time, that's what they all say. God, I never. You're amazing. I feel like I've known you forever. But we just met on this 5-6 hour flight. Some of the most best conversations I had was on a plane next to I should have wrote a book on all the people that sat next to me.
Wait, you wrote a book about
No,
that?
I said I should have.
Oh, you should?
Yeah,
that'd be
I mean,
cool.
I got their names, I got their phone numbers, and
Yeah.
every now and then, in the beginning, while it's still, new, we kind of go back and forth. And after that, and out of clear blue sky, just like the other day, this girl Tiffany that I met in Florida at Livongo over at this place here, out there in St. John's, at a private island. The Snyder family owns an island out there. We met. She's a writer, and she just dropped a line. Oh, I just saw your picture on the menu on the flight. Out of the clue, like 2 years ago, we met. I said, oh, how you doing? No. What you doing? I said, still doing the same thing. Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and I think a lot of it because we come in Hawaii. We're from Hawaii. Some of the things I like to do is when I get really knotted up is just be home, be home, my dogs, my wife.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put the parachute on, slow down,
Yeah. That's a
You
good
like
one.
that, huh?
Yeah, I never heard that
Smell a pot of
before.
Portuguese bean soup going. Or like, I got a nice piece of fish in there. I'm going to make a nice bowl of poke. Sometimes I do way too much. And then, of course, with the cooking show here locally, I'm so blessed to have that show. Not because I'm on TV, but it's because we're sharing a lot of interesting things that are in Hawaii. People's homes, open up the refrigerator. I mean, how many people would have the guts and,
I know.
I can't use the B word, but the guts and B word to open up the refrigerator and throw a camera in there and bring out their food. That's rough in Hawaii, right? But we've been doing it for 11. It's coming up on 11 years.
Is that the one with John Vaneri?
John Vaneri.
Yeah.
And of course, his dad lives in Volcano. Yeah. And Mr. Vaneri lives up there. And I am so lucky to be with that team, from Reese and Jen, and of course John Vaneri, and of course Christina Lockwood, the general manager, who gave me the shot. Started off years ago with a YouTube kind of thing. We went to people's house, and Richard
Yeah,
Gonzalez.
it's a great idea.
Yeah. Well, I had that long time ago because, when I did an event in the mainland, and, Alice Waters, one of the top female chefs in America, legend chef, and she said, the problem with America, we throw away so much food that our kids go to bed without eating. Our kids go to school without eating, And we're chefs. We got to stop doing it. We got to help, slow that down. Always was in my head, I mean, look at the food. I don't want to mention names because they could be my sponsors, but some of the big stores in Hawaii, how much food they throw away because of a law. They don't want to get sued because somebody gets sick. They sue them,
Oh, there's like a shelf life that you have to get rid of it.
Yeah. Or, there's a shelf life on it, stuff like that. But it's by the millions of dollars that they throw away, And so if we can control that, not only to have food, but you can imagine the price of food will go down because they got food to sell. Think about that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've always said that. So when I had that opportunity to do that, Richard Gonzalez, Bullet, that's his name. He does movies called Bullet. He works for Naleo now, right? But anyway, we shot that, 4, 5, 6 shows. And then I just said, man, this thing got to go somewhere else besides just whoever gets online, right? But see, I wasn't like you, man. You're smart. You went after the bigger viewers, right? So anyway, boom, we went on there, and Christina Lockwood gave it a shot, and we've been now on the 11th year. Great team,
congrats.
Reese, Tay, Jennifer, man. She's the glue. And then, of course, John Vaneri, my I don't want to say my sidekick, but, he's the voice of it, Because the guys go like, hey, Sam never talks. I said, yeah, I do talk, but I talk with the knife and the cooking.
Yeah, you do your talking in another way.
I do my talking in the yum part.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been a great ride,
Awesome.
And the whole thing just started off to kind of like teach people how to make food with leftovers. Yeah. But yeah.
Cool. All right. There's so much more we can get into. I gotta take a shishi break, and then we'll come back with social media questions.
Okay.
Okay. We'll be right back.
After 175 years, some people still think we're just a ranch.
And we just farm all day.
What they don't realize is we wear many hats. And that's just how we roll. You just might see some old friends.
Or make some new ones.
So come hang with us
Drive on out to the country.
and get that epic snap.
No matter what you're looking for, come discover where legends are made.
All right. We're back from a quick shishi break, and we got social media fan questions for you.
Okay, sounds
right.
good, Kamaka.
And we're talking off the podcast. You're saying that you lost over 200 pounds. Yeah. You're lighter than me. If
Really?
you guys can believe that right now, he's lighter than me.
Wow.
Yeah. We'll get into that for sure.
Yeah.
But congrats. I mean, you
Thank
look
you.
good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Not bad, huh?
Yeah.
For an OG.
For an OG, I feel like I need to get on your level these days.
Nah, you're doing fine. You look good. You look good.
All right, first question comes from Nahaku_N_Haukea. This person says, what or who inspired you to become a chef? I know, chef, I know you talk about, your upbringing, but was there a specific person, maybe if it wasn't in your family, that really inspired you to do it? Maybe a mentor?
Back then, like I said, majority of the executive chefs or chefs were all Europeans. There was Billy Mahoy. He was one of the sous chef or restaurant chef way back when. Worked at Turtle Bay. And, I kind of like looked at him and said, God, I would like to be like him one day. He had the chef's hat those days. They wear the big chef's hats, white jacket, little neckerchief around their necks. And, I've kind of like outside of being, chefing in the house, I kind of said, that's where I want to go. I want to be like him, And so I kept working towards that. Yeah. So Billy Mahoy was the one that kind of like,
Shout out to Billy.
Yeah.
Okay, and next question from the same person says, what is your favorite and least favorite thing to cook?
Believe it or not, I love local food. Like I'm talking squid luau.
I love squid luau.
I like just...
Maybe we should eat some after this.
Yeah. Oh, well, you better talk to...
Get the kind over there.
Hawaiian
food.
But yeah, so I like Hawaiian food. That's my favorite. Any level of Hawaiian food. I love poke. We've talked about that. Least, I don't know, man. I've loved food all my life. I haven't had a bite that I didn't like. From eating snakes, eating like over in Louisiana, eating crawfish.
Alligator,
eating lizards. Whale, I've eaten whale. Horse, I've eaten horse. A raw chicken. So I to kind of like, I want to try to find something I don't like.
Balut?
Oh yeah, I like that. The eggs. Oh yeah, come on. You like that?
I never tried it, but I'm just trying to think of things.
Right here, right down on the Nimitz, there's a egg store. They sell that.
Really?
Yeah.
I won't be going there anytime soon. I gotta tell you that.
Yeah, but so let's get serious about this. About
your least favorite thing to cook.
Cook. I don't know. It's kind of hard.
It's like your children. You're not gonna say who your favorite or least favorite child is.
Yeah. No. Come on. No, you're right. And it's not because I don't I'm just trying to go registering through my head, trying to tumble the flavors and the cooking methods and stuff like that. I don't know. It's kind of hard to figure out what I don't like,
What about like soup or something? I'm just trying to think of things that's not fun to cook. Rice.
No, rice is easy. I cook
But
rice.
that's not fun is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. It's okay. Oh, maybe, yeah. Maybe now.
What?
Now, the intestines of the pig?
Oh,
Yeah.
you cook that?
Yeah, oh yeah. My dad was the champion for that. Everybody who slaughtered a pig brought the na'au to my dad. And the reason I say that, because it's hard work. You got to clean it. You got to turn it inside. My dad used to use the chopstick, and then he used to wash it with lime leaves and oil and salt. After you get it turned inside out, after you wash and rinse and wash and rinse, it was hard work. Then you parboil it, then you chop it. But I love eating it. It was really good.
Oh, I never tried it.
Yeah.
So you don't like cooking it, but you like eating it.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's hard. It's
Yeah,
hard. Yeah.
okay. That makes sense. All right, next question comes from Tulagzi. This person says, how does it feel to be a RR4L and an OG Laie boy? Hashtag Sam Store.
Oh man, what's your name?
It says Tulags. I don't... Tulagz.
Man. Raider for life. That's it. That's one. Sam Store, Paki Cake and Soda. My dad made that real famous. But more importantly, coming from that area is definitely a blessing. It's a very unique part of Hawaii. Like self-sustaining. Those guys, they don't ask for much, but they work together. Mm-hmm. That's what makes that town very special. Okay. Nowadays, there's the circles, like the circles around there. Mm-hmm. So the Laie boys, at all the funerals, they'll line up all the drums. And then, because I was just out there to visit Junior IU, and I seen all the boys putting the drum. You're talking about the Tahitian drums, the Tongan drums, and they all dressed up, in Polynesian. And when the hearse comes around with the families, they go real slow around those circles to go up to the grave in Laie. They're playing, man. It's just a real chicken. What a send off, very unique, and only in Laie.
Is it a cultural thing or is it just a religious thing? Is it
I think it's a cultural. I think no, they do it for all everybody. Don't have to be a family from Laie, but if they bury them in Laie, they're gonna have that. It's not a religious thing. It's just a culture. It's just the Laie boys giving back. From Tanoi Reed, T, and the IUs, all the sons, the grandkids now, and other kids out there in that whole area. I mean, they literally line up in the middle of that circle with all the drums. Just chicken skin.
I'm guessing there's a lot of chihus.
Yeah, a lot of chihus and everything, maybe when they're passing by. But, you can see a little bit of it, but I think some of the schools I think the OA stopped them from doing that because they kind of rile the people up.
Oh, okay.
It's like them doing the haka and stuff like that. But it's a culture thing, you know. So, but yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Hey, right on, man. Go Big Red.
Yeah, I get uncles from Kahuku that my stepmom's sisters, they married brothers from Kahuku, and actually, my auntie Deborah Kenui, she just passed away from cancer a couple weeks ago. So we love you, Auntie Deb. We love you, my Kenui Ohana and Hilo. She was such a fighter. Cancer, the worst. Yeah,
I know. I lost my mom.
Yeah,
to cancer.
So we'll dedicate this episode to your mom and my Auntie Deborah.
Right on.
We love you guys.
Thank you. Come on.
Okay. Next question comes from Rise Poke Shack. This person says, Aloha. That's all he says.
Hey, let me tell you what. Those guys, those guys at Rise Poke Shack, they're banging.
I've never been there. I always drive by. I'm rarely on that side.
Well, you can go to the
last
mainland
time I went too late and almost nothing had food. Like the bald guy was almost sold out. I think Rise might have been closed. I don't know what it was.
Kamaka?
I gotta get there.
I think you should take your podcast, one time on the road.
Yeah, we do that.
Okay, you got to go out to you got to go out to and you got to go to Masuda's farm. The restaurant out there is amazing.
Oh, okay.
But going back to Rise, man, you guys are banging. Hey, they got.
What's the best thing to go to get there? So when I go there, I know what to get.
The nachos are good. I haven't eaten there, but I just following them.
Oh,
and
okay.
I've had some friends that called me and said, "Oh yeah, they're the real deal."
Like poke nachos.
Oh yeah, poke nachos. Those
love
guys,
poke nachos.
those guys, they bring it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great.
I'm gonna do a North Shore trip with my
I think they're on their
girlfriend,
3
so we'll do
stores.
that.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I know they're in Vegas. I know they're in Cali, and then now they, of course, they originated in Kauku at the plantation there.
Okay.
You know, I mean, they work hard. Don't get me wrong, man. You know, to do what he's doing too on on IG and on Facebook and all that. That's not easy. You know that. You know, you got to get a good team behind that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Rise, man. Yeah, hey, don't stop now.
Keep going. I'll stop by soon, I promise. Okay, next question comes from Cactus_Hawaiian. This person says, what is your favorite non-Hawaiian / island dish to make?
Portuguese bean soup.
That's a classic.
Yeah, it's a classic, but I love doing that. I love chili. I love chili. And Emeril Lagasse did chili one time. We were in Maui, and he did it very differently, but was very good. He chilied the beans first. I mean, literally, man. He cooked the beans as if he was making chili. Man, he seasoned it well. Cooked the raw beans. Cooked it all to the beans were just like, soft, really soft, but a lot of goodies went in there. Then he stir-fried the ground beef and everything, and folded it in and let it simmer just for about 5-10 minutes. Wow. Yeah, so that's how I kind of make my chili. And sometimes I just make it just the beans, and like I chili the beans like his. I like doing that. That's one of my favorite outside of Hawaii things. But in Hawaii, that's a big dish. A lot of people make chili, right?
Okay. I don't know if it was a single person that did it, but when do you think the adding mayonnaise to chili started?
Waimea, Hawaii, on the Big Island.
Really?
That's the cowboy gravy.
That's what it was.
I don't know, but the first time I moved up there, man, I went to a luau. Guys brought their own mayonnaise. Has to be best food.
I wonder, is it that's the brand, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a Big Island thing, because I remember growing up, we'd put mayonnaise in the chili.
Everything.
Yeah. Was that just Big Island, or was that
everywhere? But I think Big Island, man, they bring it there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I see them smear the backside of the. Got to be the backside of the spoon. So they go into the bottle, dollop it like that, just slam it down. The backside of the spoon, just smear it on the rice. On top of the lau lau, smear on top of the lau lau.
Mayonnaise on lau lau?
Hello, on the whole Hawaiian plate.
Oh, wow.
And then, of course, I seen it on spaghetti, but the all-time favorite is on stew and chili. You know that, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't eat too much mayonnaise these days, but I'm growing up.
Correct us if we're wrong, but I voting Waimea.
Yeah. Okay.
Paniola gravy. You guys see that on my show all the time.
I love that paniola gravy.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question comes from Sophie May 14. This person says, how was it filming on Hawaii Five-0? Mahalo nui.
Hey, Sophie, that was amazing. Filming on Hawaii Five-0 was a big honor. It's been a great show in Hawaii. Between that and Magnum, it was really not only exciting, but kind of a little nervous for me. That's kind of like a next step next to Hollywood, basically, right? I think that was the series when I shot with Carol Burnett, and I was trying to be really nice to her, and the producer said, cut, and came over and said, Chef, you gotta go hard. And then she goes, are you working this for free? Carol Burnett told me, are you working this for free? I said, no. She said, you getting paid? I'm like, yeah, I'm getting paid. She goes, well, then you yell at me. We're getting paid. You yell at me. I mean, it was classic, but it was great, man. I loved it.
Nice.
Love to see the local people working. We got to get more movies in Hawaii.
Yes,
we need to get more movies in Hawaii.
Yes. Hopefully we'll see you on some of the movies or TV shows.
Well, maybe you, Kamaka. You'd be great.
Oh, I've been trying to become a dead body on one of these shows.
What?
That's my dream. Play a dead body.
No, you're too good to be a dead body. You should be like a Joe Moore on on the desk there. I'm Kamaka.
Let me start from the bottom up. Literally the bottom.
No, you're too smart. Kamaka, let's move on. You're too smart.
Okay, last question comes from KMeeks255. How is it you are able to be the embodiment of Aloha spirit everywhere you go?
Well, Kevin, you know me and you know me well. It's my upbringing, and then of course the other side of my upbringing is coming from Hawaii. You know, that's the way we are out here. You know, we always are happy people. We always want to share, but more importantly, we're very humble and we're very respectful. And that's why I can do what I do. And you know that. Thanks, Kevin.
That's your good friend.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. From
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Haddonfield. He had the fish hopper. Oh, not the fish hopper. He had the Philadelphia Fish Company, and he's got the keg and he just sold it. The keg and restaurant. Oh, keg and grill or something like that. It was like a beer and food. Yeah. But we're good friends. Though.
Okay.
Very good
Kevin,
friends.
if you're watching this,
and his wife. Hi, Janet.
Yeah. Right on. Well, mahalo everybody for the social media fan questions. Make sure you leave some for our next guest, and maybe your question will make it on the podcast. All right. So I want to get into your weight loss journey because it's amazing.
Yeah.
You were over 400 pounds at one point.
412.
412. That's crazy. I think the biggest I was about 215 after my surgery. So I'm right now in my
Did you have the surgery for the weight surgery?
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, shoulder and knee.
No, I had knee surgery and shoulder surgery.
Okay, I had the weight loss surgery way back when. It didn't work for me.
Oh, like what is it called?
I had what was mine's? Not the one mine was the crimp the stomach.
Not gastro.
Yeah, it was kind of like a gastric bypass.
Oh, gastric, yeah.
Something like that. I had that, but it didn't work for me.
Okay.
I gained almost all my weight back.
So what worked for you?
A good doctor by the name of Eugene Wong, and then a good nurse practitioner, Josephine Durawa, a good trainer by the name of Eric Yamashita, and a solid a solid support from my wife. Yeah, so those are the 4 people that really kept me going. And when you get shot between the eyes about type 2 diabetes, and this happened 13, 14 years ago, and that was way before I had my surgery. You kind of like, start looking and, you kind of get blurry. What you normally could just read and go like, it gets kind of blurry. You put glasses on, it still doesn't help. It's still there, but a little blurry. But then the scary part was I got sleepy in the day, like you want to take a nap, And I think the real reason why I didn't just drop dead back then was I was really active when I was young. I rode motocross, I surfed, and then I played football, right? So I think that kept me going, and I always kept busy. I didn't kind of like just fell to like, okay, I don't want to do nothing now. I just kept going. So I always knew that if I could get a grip on my obesity, and that's why I like to share this story to a lot of people that are sitting on that picket fence, because you cannot get much more get a story or get help from somebody who has lived it. I lived it, And when you think about bless his soul, what a talented person, a voice of an angel, a voice of Hawaii. But he passed away on being obese. And, and there's a lot of people that are sitting on that picket fence. I was on that fence, When people told me like, oh, man, I'm kind of worried about you, I shut them down. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, screw you, And, but when your doctor, after he gets to read your blood tests, and that's why they're doctors. And Dr. Eugene Wong is a kidney specialist. He was my dad's doctor. And when he read my blood test, man, he said, I've been telling and talking to you for years. You never listen, but this is it. This is it. You're at the end. I said, yeah, but my blurriness, it goes type 2 diabetes. I want to sleep in the daytime. I feel sleepy. It's type 2 diabetes. That's all leading. Now, you don't have to be a doctor to figure that out, right? You got the symptom. Your body will tell you, like, you're screwing up. And the other thing, too, is that when you got those symptoms, your organs are maxed out. Your heart, your liver, your kidney.
Like they're working overtime.
They're working 24/7. It's like an engine going full throttle. You hold that engine for a while, what's going to happen? Something's going to go. And that's where I was right there, So mentally, physically, psychologically, mentally, psychologically, I knew something has to have been done. So when we lined up all those support team I had, just chipped away at it, It's no different from sitting down in an AA meeting or sitting down in, a team of doctors saying, like, it doesn't look good.
Like an intervention.
Yeah,
like
intervention.
Your family comes
Yeah, the
around,
family
like, hey,
comes.
I think
Yeah,
you got a problem.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm.
I mean, it's that intervention, the professional help. It's like I always tell people, man, you got a sore tooth, you don't go see a mechanic, you see a dentist, right? You got something wrong with your eyes, you don't go see one lung doctor, you go see one eye doctor. I mean, we're laughing now, but when you're medically and physically in that kind of environment.
Not thinking straight.
That's right. You're not thinking straight, So I just kind of like, took heed and baby steps.
Yeah.
But positively,
It's good. No, it's
Positive.
Something is better than nothing.
Well,
That's what I
I think, I don't like talking about it, but I did have the weight loss surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Never worked on me. And the reason it didn't work, the doctor did a great job. But it's here.
Mm.
When you're not ready here, I don't care what you're thinking of doing. I don't care what you want to vision. If this is not ready, it'll not work.
Mm.
And so, I was up to 6X. I mean, guys would make fun. They go, hey, who makes your chef's jacket? Omar the tent man. I had a company called Omar the tent guy. I mean, I shouldn't be laughing, but I'm laughing inside.
Yeah. Well, you can laugh about it now.
Yeah, I can laugh about it now, but my mission now is to help people
Yeah.
that are sitting on their picket fence.
Mm-hmm.
I want to share my story and help them because I've done it. I've done sharing stories to people. And you can tell that people that are receiving it well because tears drop down their face because they know that that's them. What I'm saying is them, And I'm here to help.
Yeah, just showing people that it's possible. You know who's also on an amazing weight loss journey? Ian Tongi.
Oh yeah.
He dropped over 100 pounds in a couple months.
And he needs to because he's got so much talent.
Yeah, yes.
When you look at the greats, like Iz and stuff like that, I mean, with the support that's now and the things that are now, Iz would still have been here.
Yeah.
Willie K, we couldn't help it. He had cancer, right? But another talented, entertainer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it kind of like started off really slow. It's like how I kicked my diet soda. I used to drink like 10 to 12 cans a day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like actually like 10 cans.
Yeah, 10 cans. Like,
Wow.
like 10 to 12 cans. Then I met this lady. Actually, she was one of the she called dietitians for the Lakers who lived in Napa. She said, hey, I watched you just in the 3-4 hours we were talking and going over some menu ideas and stuff. Man, you kind of wolfed down like 4 cans of diet soda. She said, that's not good. Aspartame and that. She said, don't your tongue and mouth feel dry? I said, yeah. She goes, so, that's all the chemicals in that, And I kind of said, so I don't know. It's just, she goes, I know how to kick it. 1 week, that's all we need. I said, what? She goes, 1 week, that's all we need. Monday to Monday. I said, what you mean? She goes, don't drink 1 week. Then on the Monday, you crack one open in the morning. I'll call you at 8 o'clock in the morning, Hawaii time. If I'm, on the mainland, back on the mainland, I want you to chug it. You in? I goes, I go, I try, right? Come Monday, man. Never had it, right? Oh, man, about 2 hours into it, I'm like,
Withdrawals.
You do get withdrawals, man. I can honestly say this, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I had the shakes. I mean, I got a headache, like cold sweat up in here, kind of like feeling like, oh, man, I just need to pop one. Boom, the phone rings. I look, what, sir? How's it going? Not good. Drink water. Drink a lot of water. Boom, drink the water. The first 3 days, but it got better as it went on, right? The first 2 days was rough. By the third day, little bit, I could tolerate it, a little bit. But not as bad as the first day, not as bad as the second day. The third day, yeah, I can do this. Fourth day, yeah, still think about it, but not as much. Fifth day, I'm done, I'm good, I'm going. A lot of water. Come that Monday, crack that can. She's on the phone. I'm like, she goes, okay, where's it at? I said, right in my hand. She goes, chug it right now. Man, I took that chug, man. I tell you, I couldn't even swallow it. It felt like, I want to say maybe a 30, 40 weight oil with sugar, with syrup. Like, it was like a thick syrup. I mean, I cannot believe when diet soda tasted like that thick syrup. I was done. I tell you, I could not finish it. I just haven't drank it over 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's research with fasting, and you didn't fast from food, but you fasted from that diet soda. And if you don't fast for like say 3 days, whatever, you can kind of change how your taste buds react to certain foods.
Yeah. So going back to my whole conditioning, you're right. You know, when you're obese, your taste buds are trained like a runner training for a marathon or an athlete training for a sport. Like you like soccer, so there's drills that you guys go through for soccer. So that's the same thing with eating. You're training your taste buds for wanting. Why Hawaii people have a lot of diabetes, the South Pacific diabetes? Simple. Our food is so tasty, we have to eat it with what?
Carbs.
Rice. Yeah.
Mac salad, bread.
Yeah. That's it. That's exactly. I'll eat rice today, but just eat a couple of sushis or a little cup of brown rice or whatever, right? I mean, it doesn't really matter brown or white, but I'll eat a little bit of it. But that's what it is. We condition ourselves to wanting. Yeah. You take a bite of something. You take a bite of cow beef. You go like, oh man, where the musubi? Where the rice ball? Right? You go to Hilo, right? You go to Heroes. Man, that's all the rice. Can I get extra rice? But the funny part throughout all this march when I was really grinding and eating and everything, I'd like go to a drive-in. I'd walk up to the counter, me and whoever. I'd order, a plate lunch, extra rice, extra gravy, extra mac salad, right? And lean over and go, I want a large Diet Coke. I mean, some of the girls, they catch on that real quick. They go like, Uncle, you should order extra rice, extra gravy all over, extra mac salad, and you're asking for a diet soda.
That's the healthy part.
I said, I'm on a diet.
Dude, that happens all the time. That's so funny.
But Kamaka, be serious, yeah. So I'm on a mission now to help. I really want to your million listeners out there, or people that are streaming it right now. I'm here for you guys. I really want, if they can contact you, you let me know. I'd love to go on one-on-one just to share that story, because I feel a lot better. I don't think I can do what I'm doing now if I was that big.
Yeah.
I think
and that's a big part of just everyday function, right?
Yes, nonstop. Nonstop. Yeah. So it's been a blessing.
Yeah. I mean, they say once when you're healthy, you have 99 problems, and when you're not healthy, you have one problem.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's your health.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. It's like, man, I'm a lot more active now, but once I can't walk, I can't push myself up to surf. You got all these things taken away from you.
Yeah.
You can't go to work. You can't hang out with your friends, do the things that you used to do, play the sports. Like that messes with your your mental health, and then you're just not as happy
you're
anymore.
right.
So taking care of our health is so important. Because it allows you to do all the things that you love to do, especially be there for your family, your kids, grandkids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kamaka, the real interesting thing too, when you think about humankind, right? And womankind, you got to be honest. Women work hard too. I mean, they're part of this whole thing, right? When you think about it, they can do a lot of things. Man can go to the moon, man can do this, woman can design clothing. I mean, raise a family, clean a nice house, and women can do that. But the real challenging is when you're in a physical challenge in your body, how do you fix it? That's why when you look at the human body, it's an unbelievable machine. It'll tell you when you're sick. If they leave politics out of it, man, we got the most amazing machine right here, our human beings. Right here. Seriously. I mean, when I was going down the hill, I tell you what, I had to get up because I had to go to work. I had a family then. But man, when I look at some of the old pictures, I told myself, oh my gosh, how did I live through it? you know. And then, you know, now it's funny how it works, right? So I'm going, oh, you the skin, I can sell your bones up here and everything. Hey, I don't care if I'm going to the grave with just bones, because that's what we're all going to end up with, just bones.
Yeah, true.
You know?
You can cross your legs
I
now.
can
Like,
cross
look
my
at
legs.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I always watch people do it. I wonder how they do that. You know, when I was fat, you know, I'd be like, and even put it on my socks, right? I mean, I'm like, gotta call the kids. Hey, put on my socks. Put that socks on. I mean, you know, it's funny, but it's, and you know, fat guys like to sit like this because they cannot do that, right? You know, the big guys know that. But you know, I mean, we're kidding and laughing, but it is serious, you know. And then the other real magical thing is there is help. There is stuff out there that people have worked really hard, you know. I mean, everybody talks about the shots that are out there now, you know. I mean, if it works, it works, you know. I mean, and you shouldn't be ashamed of it. If it's working and helping, hey, you know. I mean, I look at some of the stories that, because I'm real good friends with the Macau sons, Uncle Mooney, Uncle Johnny, who had passed, and of course Uncle Jerome, and then of course the new Macau son. Kind of like hung around with them, and you know, they talk about ears and stuff like that. You know, they had him going right. You know, not them, but you know, he had a team of doctors working, but you know, his friends brought the McDonald's to him and all that. You know, but it's like anything else, right? Hey, who holds it in the hand and puts it in the mouth? You yourself. So you got to be ready to just say, hey, no. You know. I mean, it's like the AA. They got a great program, you know, the alcoholic group, Anonymous. Hey, I've had friends that have been on it. You put a glass of wine, you know, they've been out 20-something years, you know. Put a glass of wine or whatever there, they don't even touch it. They don't even recognize it. It's there, you know. And the nice thing about me, in the last maybe 4 or 5 years, I got really comfortable in going to a restaurant and knowing what to order. And I've just had friends that we hang with kind of like acknowledge that to me. They said, hey, you know, one thing I like about you, I know you're doing well because you read the menu well, and then you just order things that you know that's, you know, healthy.
No, that's because you don't know how to read the rest of the menu. That's why, yeah.
Come on, now I know, man. You're the real deal. You're smart. Yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, you know. But yeah, you know, so I feel comfortable about that, you know. Yeah. Like most times right now, I'll be thinking like, oh, I'm hungry, because which I am. Oh, I wonder where we're going to eat lunch. Well, I want to go there. Oh, there's plenty of food on the plate. But now, you know, wherever we're going there, I'm going to just look and pick what we're going to eat. I'm going to eat that. Okay. Yeah.
Well, you know, simple. Regardless of what it is, it's going to be good.
Yeah. You know, yeah. So that's been my mission. Like I said, though, Dr. Eugene Wong, Joseph, you know, Josephine Dudawa, Eric Yamashita, Everyday Better, and then of course my wife, you know, and the family. Yeah, they were the 4 strong, you know.
Yeah. Can you talk about your wife and how you met her? And because you've been married for 50 plus years. Which is insane. We grew up. She grew up in Kalihi Valley. She went to Farrington up to her junior year, and then I stole her away and she came to Kahuku. She graduated. She's a Laie girl now. She's a Laie. Well, they had a beach house there. Well, they still have the beach house there in Laie. Her sister, her mom, them, dad, all the rest of the family. Right there, right across the Polynesian Culture Center. Great surf spot right out there. Her dad was a great fisherman. Amazing. Caught so much ulua there. Her brother, Bobby Green, worked for Shuttleworth. That was a European car, not dealership, but they fixed only Jaguars, Porsches, Mercedes way back when. They were specialists on Volkswagens. They were specialists on that. And I had a bug, and I used to ride motocross. So he kind of tuned up my Volkswagen and my bike. You know, so we kind of I met him first. So you were friends with the brother? Yeah. And then, of course, I said, wow, man, who's this chick? Hey, bro, check out that girl. Who's that? Yeah, that's my wife, Carol. But, you know, she, man, she's a great wife. You know, for me, I'm so blessed. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now getting interviewed by you on your podcast and without her, you know. I mean, I don't think no chef or no person that can do what I do. I'm hardly home. I'm literally hardly home. You know, and I've done some really bad deals, and she was very involved in it. You know, not in a deal part, but took the blunt of it financially. You know, went without. You know, so you know I'm so blessed. You can never find her maybe on a picture, because she's always like hiding behind the scenes, but she's definitely solid. Awesome. Well, she's the real reason why Carol is our anchor, our pillar in our house. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hey, we got married by Judge Wendell Huddy.
Who's that? I don't
See, he was a Kamehameha grad way back when as a judge, very famous judge here in Hawaii, one of them. And we got married over at the Kamehameha statue in the back. Statue? But we got married in his office back there.
Oh, wow. So not even too far from here.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah. Every time I pass by, I remember that corner right there where his office was. Yeah, so, we didn't come back having no big fanfare. My dad gave us money to buy a house, so, we used that money to having a party to buy the house. And, just went back to work the next day. We got married on Valentine's Day, and then the next day went back to work.
Wow.
She made it on Valentine's Day, so I wouldn't forget.
Smart lady.
Oh, man, I'm terrible. You know how I'd say, anyway, I don't want to go there, but people are like, oh, man, for real?
Seems like you're really good with names, though. You've been name dropping so many people.
Well, that's just people that have been part of my life, basically. When you get the team of medical people and, people that have helped me, mentally and physically to take the challenge on obesity, you have to not forget those kind of people, the chefs that I've, done great things with, you can never forget people that have really, helped you. I mean, my childhood upbringing, the Stan family doing the kulolo out there in Laia, Manuela them over at Hukilau Beach that fed me my first raw fish way back when. You cannot forget those people, that's just life gifts that never will leave you, I hope, hope it doesn't leave me. But I'm sitting down with you today. It's been a nice time with you. I know we're not over yet, but I've just been enjoying it.
Yeah, mahalo.
Yeah.
I mean, I love hearing these stories from, the years that I was not alive.
Born, yeah.
And then
You're hanging
going
around.
up to, the years that we're at now. So it's so cool to, hear all these and just archive these stories for everybody to hear for years to come.
A lot of people, a lot of kids today don't realize how exciting it was, to watching the trains go by with the cane hanging out, and we trying to pull the cane off the truck, the track, and then or putting a penny on the track when a train ran it over, it made it bigger. I mean, those kind of things, And the kind of funds we had then and what today the kids having fun is too different.
Yeah,
I mean,
you had to really figure out what to do to pass time. Now there's too many options.
Yeah, and that's the bad part because you know what? When I look at kids, they say they want to homeschool. To me, they're cheating themselves. You want to go to school, whether you like the school or whether you love the teacher or don't like the teacher. You got to go to school because that's a great building block for your whole success in life. I mean, you might find one or two, like the Elon Musks of the world that didn't go to college or what, or maybe he did, but some of the other guys you read, they never went to college. But look at them today. That's 1 in a billion.
Yeah, they're already way too smart. They're geniuses.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah. But, for young kids, man, go to school. That's your best time. I always believed that. My best time in my life was when I was in high school. But then I always tell myself, I think my best time in my life is now, man. I'm getting all these calls. Guys go, how come you still working? I said, because my phone is still ringing.
Yeah.
So
what are you working on these days? You have tons of things.
Oh man, I got a great project, man. I'm bringing a restaurant back to Hawaii.
Oh yes.
Yes, on the Big Island.
Okay, Kona side with a great project. I got a great partner, Ed Raposa. What a brilliant, hardworking family. I met his mom and dad way back when, and his children. Very hardworking, and our concept's gonna be really neat. It's gonna be on an ulu farm. On an ulu farm?
Yeah,
the restaurant is gonna be.
Yeah,
on
we're
ulu
planting
farm?
ulu. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's gonna have a restaurant. Gonna have a general store. We're looking at bringing a real nice distillery to Hawaii. It's gonna be in Hawaii. I mean in Kona. But I think the nice thing that we really are looking forward to, I'm looking forward to, is the education piece. Not every person, every teenager kind of just feels like school is where I want to be. And there's schools out there now that kind of teach stuff like that, but I want to have a culinary school where Ed and I can bring the kids in that are having a hard time in adjusting to going to school and teach them a skill. Teach them a culinary skill, to maybe take over the reins of what I do or even further it, Yeah, so that's the exciting part of what I feel. And, of course, I know the work is unbelievably hard, and I don't have my sisters that helped me when we won the James Beard, and my mom, my dad, my wife. My wife always kid me. She goes, "I worked 8 years and not get paid." Sorry, Carol, and that's true. But because every time we get the Social Security check, she goes, "Look how much I got." I said, "How do you get this so little bit?" She goes, "Because I never got paid for 8 years." But yeah, so I'm looking forward. I'm really jazzed up about this. The whole thing is good for Hawaii. It's good for the Big Island. It'll slow me down maybe from traveling and have people come to Hawaii. There's a restaurant in Cabo San Lucas. Is a farm, unbelievable. I mean, every day they pick all their vegetables and produce and stuff like that. So we're looking at sourcing, locally, all the the vegetables that are grown in the islands, and we did that in Kaloko when we had the restaurant there. And then of course, we're going to have the ulu, create the distillery, the educational piece. And we're surrounded by probably the best fishing waters out there in the islands, Kona Coast. Get the fish directly from the fishermen. Kind of like a real, of course Hilo too. Hilo got a lot of good fishermen and fishes too. So, kind of like a real island base. Create that to be a real island base, but yet offer the foods like. Everybody's doing it. You got Chef Ippy's doing it. You got Chef Sheldon on Maui is doing it. All the other chefs are doing it. But, we just want to have that whole little, farm tour. This is how ulu grows. This is how sweet potatoes grow. These are all Hawaiian bird peppers, chili peppers, This is how these things grow, mangoes and stuff like that, But, yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting, man.
Cool.
I'm jacked up.
Is there a timeline?
It's already started, the building part, yeah.
So just follow along. And
that and permitting, permitting is an important part of it in Hawaii, but, it's unfortunate it takes so long to, get things done in that area. But Ed's a very, very smart, developer and worker. He knows land. We just talked about it the other day. We're standing up on one of the high points on that location, and he goes, "I know land." I was going to say I know food, but, hey. My dad also always said, man, monkey...
I know food land.
Yeah, I know food. Yeah, you're right. Food land's a great brand. The old saying is, my dad always say, monkeys do fall off of trees and fishes do drown. So in other words, just be humble, Another thing he said that, we're kind of getting off subject.
This is what it's all about. Yeah. We talk about whatever we like.
Yeah, so anyway, he always said, like, don't go to a restaurant, like, in the peak of the, the meal time and it's empty. Don't go. And, I said, why, Dad? He said, because if it's lunch and you go there and it's slow, you know what that means? The food is not good. I don't know. So one time my wife and I, where we were coming from, and I said, I'm hungry. She goes, let's go to a restaurant. They had a restaurant, a big line, a restaurant. I said, let's go there. And I said, well, Dad told me about this. And she goes, I think your dad was right. You know what I mean, right? So that does true. That is true. Yeah, so that's what I got going. And then I'm can't mention yet, but I'm getting ready to do an airline, a big airline. Nice. The designing the food design work, yeah.
Ooh, like on the plane?
On the plane, yeah. I've done American Airlines. I did international on American. I did Transcon and In and Out Hawaii.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I got a lot of stuff there. You work with Gate Gourmet. You work with LSG Food, Flying Food. That's the companies that cater the food. I got a project with Aramark, and we got the that's a big food group like Sodexo and stuff. I love working with Aramark. They're very good people. Chef Dixon over at HPU at Aloha Towers. We got a Sam Choy's in there. Next time we get together, I'll take you lunch there. Yeah. That's the only thing I have there. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I got a restaurant in ASU, Arizona State, with Aramark. It's called Poke Zona. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, and then, of course, Max over in Seattle. Done a great job, him, Rhea, and the team there. Amazing what he's done, Got the restaurant out there at the airports, and then, in the Helmand City. yeah. So yeah.
You do any competition these days?
I did not. I don't want to lose to the young kids, man.
They get the kitchen scraps now.
Yeah, well, I can't go on there because I'm on the other
Yeah,
station.
you judge.
I'm on the winning station, so I don't. Good luck. I wish them luck, man. They're doing a good job. But yeah, you should go on it. I heard you're a good cook, right?
I'm not a good. Who told you that?
Your engineer. He just told
He
me.
never said nothing.
No, when you go restroom, he told me, hey, he's a good cook,
Ozzy, why are you spreading lies? I don't think I've cooked for like over a year. I don't cook. I used to cook when I needed to. I cook based off necessity. Like when I lived in Madagascar in the Peace Corps, I had to cook.
Madagascar.
But other than that, when I come back, I rarely cook.
How long were you in Madagascar?
3 years.
That's where they make the white pepper, huh?
No, I didn't know that.
Madagascar.
I know, but they grow a lot of vanilla and a lot of other things, but I
coffee,
don't know anything about white pepper.
White pepper. So it's black pepper, but they run it in the river streams to get all take the black out, and that's how they get the white pepper.
Mm.
Yeah, Madagascar. Madagascar,
Beautiful place.
They got some good seasonings.
Yeah. There's a lot of spices.
Good spices, very good. Yeah,
The spice market.
Yeah, spice market. Yeah, you're right. Curries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just feel like my life has been not only a whirlwind, but a very when I look back, it's hard to really look back when people tell you what you've done. Then you go like, oh wow, it's pretty cool. Yeah. So I give back a lot now for cancer because my mom, I do that thing out in Cleveland. So this year was the first time they had invited people that have survived it. Mm. So they had this one patient who started off with colon cancer that went all over his body, 4 surgeries, and he spoke to, I think it was like 12 of us, 12 chefs that we do this event in Cleveland at the UH Seidman Cancer Center. And he said, I'm here today because of you guys, $100 and something million you guys generated throughout the years for cancer research. Mm. Some of the procedures I've done was cutting edge, and they did it because of the research, and I'm, top shape now. Mm. Yeah, it was very moving. He talked about, when he went through that doom and gloom part of his life with the, stage 4 and,
scary.
Scary, but more just all on medication, And then the doctor started looking. That's why the hospitals, there's a lot of great hospitals that have a great cancer, research program. But, and at that time when I did it, my mom had just died, and I just felt like I needed to do something. Mm-hmm. And then Wolfgang Puck had called and said that, we got this big event out there in Cleveland, and we'd like you to come, and had some other local chefs came to it too, and I did. I've always been back out there. They always invited me back out there,
Awesome.
And I'm driven because I lost my mom to that, and then how many friends or family members you've known who have gone with cancer. A good friend of mine, Timmy at San Francisco, Yet Lee, who had passed from cancer. He had a real bad one there. The one when you get it, they said, man, if you make it, you're like more like a vegetable. Mm-hmm. I forget what cancer there. Pancreatic. Mm. Yeah, pancreatic. 6 months he was gone. Oof. Yeah, fast. Yeah. Yeah. So and we just lost a great hula legend too on Kauai.
Oh yeah.
Auntie Leilani. Yeah. She was a beautiful woman. My poke contest out there. Oh, my poke contest. We never talked about that.
No, you have it every year.
Every year. This year gonna be June 19th and 20th. So on the 19th is the dinner. And on the 20th is the poke contest. And the money's all dispersed to everybody in Kauai. We give to the hotel group, and then we always look for a good group. We did the Maui Fire one year. A great poke contest. It's stronger, bigger. What makes it fun is the judges. We bring in guys like Aaron Sanchez. Guys go, why you bring a chef that don't know poke? Let me tell you, when you are a chef in a world-class environment, when you work with Gordon Ramsay and you're judging one of the top shows in America, to judge poke is not hard. Mm-hmm. You taste the freshness of the fish, right? And all the flavors, even though if it's a Hawaiian dish. But these judges are amazing, And we got Simeon, from Maui. He's a great judge. And then, we Ronnie Rainwater, who works for Emerald Lagasse, corporate chef. So we're bringing back this June 15th and 19th, 20th. We're bringing some big name chefs to be judges.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, you gotta come. Hey, you should come
I
sit.
haven't spent any time on Kauai, but next year I 100% plan to do that. So maybe I can go in June.
Yes, it's over at the Kloa
Yeah.
Landing. It's at Marriott Autograph Group.
Okay.
Aaron Bambling. Sorry, Aaron.
Yeah, me and Lincoln will come.
Yeah, bring Lincoln. You guys would love it. I mean, it's just amazing. I'll keep you guys posted.
Okay.
It's not only just amazing, but man, it's really make you proud to be a Hawaiian.
Okay.
I mean, you'll eat enough fish to feel like you got scales growing on you.
I can breathe underwater after
Yeah,
that.
yeah, about 25 participants, and we have 4 or 5 judges. Yeah.
Okay,
and
cool.
it's-
And then the people that watch, they get to try it too?
Yeah, and then our sponsors are amazing. Kadena and Fresh Fish, those guys kind of like gave us a great deal on the fish because each participant gets free. They pay a little entry fee to get in, but you get like 40, 50 pounds of fresh ahi.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. You're considered the godfather of poke. What is the history of poke?
Basically, when you think about it, the history of poke with the Hawaiian people, because when I did my first book, I studied it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I studied from South America, right? Lima, Peru, ceviche, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went out there to see the raw fish action out there. Not bad, they got it out there, but not like us. Then I came to Rapa Nui with the mois, those. The first time I saw what they call in Hawaii like a poke where they used everything, the gills and everything. Crack seed poke, like some chefs, some old people like it like that. They chop the whole fish up, bones and all, and everything, and the blood and everything in there. They do that out there. And then, of course, when I came to, not Rapa Nui, but when I came to Palmyra, not Palmyra, but Pitcairn. Pitcairn is Seventh-day Adventist, right? So they don't eat crustaceans, but they have fish out there, a lot of, whitefish, mai. But there's a little raw fish, but a little bit with the lime and stuff like that. But then now when you come up to the Tuamutus, when you come entering into Tahiti, then you see the Pozon crew, right? With the coconut milk, the, vegetables, tomatoes, the hot little chili pepper. Then you go all the way up to Samoa. Then everybody's kind of like Oka. Samoa is Oka with the coconut milk, right? And then, you go to Tonga, they got their own style. And you go to Fiji, New Zealand, they got their own style of raw fish. But when you come home to Hawaii, when you see what the Hawaiian people have done with poke, when you look back before Captain Cook, right? So they didn't have the hot chili pepper because why? The birds never dropped the seeds then. The seaweed, the limo, limo kohu, the limo, was that salt. As the oceans crashed over the shoreline, it settled in those natural lava bowls that were made by the volcano and the wear and tear of the ocean. As the sun evaporated the oxygen, the H2O, the water, you see this white film like makoni on the North Shore by Turtle Bay. Back when you could scrape and get the salt. We used to do that when I was young. My mom then used to take us out there, you scrape the top, get the salt, right? Like today, you're lucky you get the salt ponds from Kauai, right? So all of that, the fish, and most of the fish back then was all reef fish. I want to say like kole, kole, enenui. That's my favorite fish to make poke though, enenui. So my combination is uni, which is vana, enenui, limokohu, inamona, and lobster in that poke.
Oh, I never had that kind of poke before.
That's my favorite.
Where we
poke.
get that from?
I gotta make for you. The guys make that. The old timers make that.
Yeah. My favorite poke place is in Hilo, Poke Market.
Oh.
You ever eat there?
No, I never eat there.
It's
Poke.
my favorite.
Where's it at Pokemon? I gotta
Downtown
go.
Hilo?
Okay.
Yeah.
By where? Like
Just right down, like...
Best Cafe Pestos or?
No, it's on the way out to like the road, like going to Bayfront. It's across of... There's some shops, like... it's around the corner from Sig Zane, I guess. That's
Oh,
the
okay,
easiest
that
area.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's good.
I gotta
It's
go.
the best. They put like the little imitation crab, the sweet potato,
Oh, yeah.
scoopless, and then like the
The bubble, the crispy stuff.
yeah, what's it called? Not
Crispy.
arare,
Bubu
but
arare.
bubu
Bubu
arare.
arare,
That's
yeah.
what it. Yeah,
I like
get
that.
some of
The
that.
crunch
It's
on top.
good. It's good.
Oh, I gotta go. Avocado? No avocado.
You can get avocado. Yeah, I get avocado on mine sometimes.
And what kind of fish? All ahi.
I think so. They have salmon, I think. Because there's one that you can get like half. But mainly ahi. And I think that you can get salmon.
Oh yeah. Well, that
So,
sounds good.
I don't know. There's one thing that I get that I just...
All the time.
I never remember what it is, but when I go there, I see the
They
name.
know
I'm
you.
like, okay, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
water. And they put any drizzle on top? Like
Unagi. sauce.
Unagi.
Yeah.
Ayo.
I love unagi sauce on anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Unagi sauce can just be on plain rice.
Yeah, exactly. Furikake, unagi sauce. I can just eat rice.
Yeah, and then when you think about poke in Hawaii, we're so blessed. People like Taniokas. I mean, come on, Taniokas, man. Those guys, they kill. They do a great job. And as traditional stuff, I think grandma, the mom, Kaicho's wife, they all got their hands in creating the product. The foundation, and now the kids run it, right? I mean, it's one of the magical places. You've been there yet?
I have before, but I don't go there often. So
Yes, it's
I
in
don't
Waipahu, yeah.
Yeah,
I try to go there. If not, I get guys to go pick up or what. But their food is always consistent.
yeah. I had this really good poke from Foodland when I was on North Shore a couple weeks ago. It was a Maui onion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you had that, Oz? It's my favorite. Oh, I
Which
had
one?
it for the first time. It was so good.
Lomi?
It's Maui onion. I don't know. It was ahi poke with Maui onion chips or drizzle, or I don't know. The flavor was Maui onion. Oh, it was so good.
Was it fresh ahi though? Because sometimes a lot of people serve frozen ahi.
I think you can choose, right? You can get the frozen or you can get the fresh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Remember.
But that Maui onion sounds good.
It was good. It was good.
I like that kind of.
Yeah.
I just made one. I got it home in the refrigerator because I did a thing on the weekend and I got the extra sauce, and I took ogo. The pickled ogo you normally do with the vinegar, the onions, the hot chili
I like
pepper,
that
and
stuff,
tomatoes
yeah.
inside. So I pickled that. I made a little bit more sauce, and then I took some of my pickled ulu and I threw it in that.
Pickled ulu. I
Yeah.
never had that before.
Oh man, it's good. It's like artichoke hearts.
Dang.
Huh?
I don't know what I'm doing in my life. All these things.
No, you're
you
doing
mentioned
fine.
me.
You're doing
I know,
fine.
I never had
No,
it
no, no,
before.
no. Come on, don't ever say it. You're doing great. It's just that food has gone different. Wide variety.
Okay.
And then I've added some cubes of poke fish inside.
Uh-huh.
Oh, really good.
Okay, I gotta try that. Does poke have to be fish? Because I
No,
was at
poke
this
can be anything. It's not cut
restaurant
in
in
cube.
Madagascar, and they said a poke bowl and never had fish.
Yeah. No. Can be anything as long as it's cubed, cut, sliced. That's what poke means. Too.
Okay.
Cut or sliced. Yeah.
So it doesn't need to be
Fish. You can do steaks.
It's more the style.
So I go to Molokai.
Okay.
I go out there. I'm so blessed to be invited by Mercy Reedy, who's Walter Reedy's son. They really work hard for Molokai. I mean, there's so many great people in Molokai. They kind of create their own activities, their own education. They create their own way of, building financial support there. They do all that themselves. But they do a thing for the community and the young generation. So I get invited to go out there. But the interesting thing, I did, you get plenty problems with, they don't get problems, but they got an overabundance of the axis deer out there. A lot of deer, choke.
Yeah.
Right?
People go there to hunt.
Yeah, but they're controlling it. They're doing a great job. But anyway, I made poke with that. So I dry rubbed it, and I grilled it like mid-rare, let it rest, cut it in cubes, and made poke. And they loved it.
That sounds good.
Yeah, Mercy's husband went out and, catch a deer and cut it up for me. Cleaned it up and gave it to me, and it was very good.
Okay, that's good to know.
Well, and you can do that with steak. You can cut a steak up, and if you got leftover, but for me personally, gotta be rare. You gotta get that nice soft. That's the thing about poke. You gotta have that nice texture.
Yeah.
When we did fried poke, and everybody always think that we invented it. I don't think we invented it, but a lot of people have done it, but we've never used leftover poke. We made it fresh. Because Kona got a lot of fish, right? So when a fisherman come up and says, I got this 40 pound or 100 pound marlin, I want to sell it. I hooked it and it got caught in the eye. I should have tagged it, but I don't want to send it back when it got a hook in the eye. But I took it, and what you can do with that? I said, just leave it. I'll figure something out. And then I said, let's just sear the poke, fast. Eat it. I'll tell you what, that thing became a real big part of our menu, the fried poke. Everybody, wow. And I always tell people, like when we got featured on NBC Dateline, I had said, like, yeah, the fried poke is like eating Spam. No bones, just rice, that little salad, you know. And it's so true. And then everybody, oh, you know, he's using the old poke, the old fish. You know, whatever, right? That's the other 20 people.
Yeah,
we were trying to get 20, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so, you know, it became very popular. A lot of people are doing it today, which I'm glad. Even like the ginger poke, there's some guys in Honolulu are doing it now. We did that 30 years ago. I mean, ginger chicken, I said, hey, put some with the poke. It was really good. I do Mediterranean poke with, you know, roasted garlic inside and olive oil, onions, nice parsley, and, you know, toss it lightly some tomato. That's one of my favorite poke.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
nice.
I caught the middle, but
So, what makes you the godfather of poke? Because you didn't invent poke, but
no, I
you
did not
popularized it.
I didn't
right?
invent poke, popularized it, but I just keep kicking that hand up the can up the hill. You know, every time people see me, it's the poke guy. You know, and that's how it all came about. You know, I mean, I did not invent poke. That's for sure. You know, I mean, poke was done way before I was even thought of. You know, and you know, when you really research that part of our country, I mean, of Hawaii, yeah, they must have ate raw fish coming across the ocean in the canoes, right? No refrigeration, just the salt buildup from whatever they had, and or dipping it in the salt water, eating it like that. And the peppers came from when the birds crapped it out and the seeds started going. Because in Guam, they call it buni peppers. But when you look at it, it's the same kind of peppers we have here, bird peppers. And it's almost like the same species that every island in Louisiana makes the Tabasco sauce. Of course, now they got their hands full with sriracha. You know, sriracha is kind of like everybody loves sriracha. You know.
Yeah.
But when you look at the recipe of you know, Tabasco, it's just vinegar, salt, and the natural peppers, and they just ferment that.
Yeah.
You know, like you know, when you go to Korea, the kimchi out there is so good. Hawaii, there's people that are doing it too, but it's just different out there.
Yeah.
You know, you got to go out there and try the kimchi. It's amazing, right?
Yeah, one day.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you're gonna go when you start doing your podcast all over the world. You're
Yeah,
gonna be amazing.
Hopefully 2026.
Yeah, you'll do it. I mean, if Lanai can go all around, you can
Yeah,
go
yeah.
all around.
We got a trip to Japan planned with him for next year.
Oh yeah.
You know, because he does that travel.
Yeah,
thing. So we're gonna
yeah.
do some podcasts. Viewers can hop along and we'll go explore.
That's
Japan.
good. That's
I think
really
we're thinking of Kyoto.
Oh yeah, you love Kyoto.
Yeah, I think that's where.
You know, Japan's a whole different
Yeah.
world. You know that.
Yeah. I love it.
Every city has their own touch. You know, their own good food. Fukuoka, the nabes are amazing, right? You know, Yokohama, the fish, the fugu. You know, I mean, Tokyo, you got everything, and they do it so well. You know that. The markets, man. You go look at all their food. I mean, it makes some of the local markets that are showing food in Hawaii kind of like, you know, over there the food looks so good. Like how there's some places out here like Don Quixote, they got a pretty good action going there. But yeah, you know, so everything grows and revolves around that kind of stuff, you know. And I think for poke, it's been a real magical ride for Hawaii. We just got to make sure that they say it right.
Yes,
And
poke, not pokey.
Yeah, and we got to make sure that you know, it's not a hokey pokey fun thing. You know, it's a real thing. You know, very professional on that. We got to make sure that happens. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, like mango seed. How about talking about mango seed, man? You know, the one that you dry. I just met a girl that, in fact, our classmate Priscilla Aquina. Well, her married name now, but she dehydrates it. So the old days, you split the mango, you peel the young mango, the regular common mango, split it, peel it, split it, salt it lightly, and put it on a roof on newspaper back in the old days. A couple of days, you know, when it rains, you better make sure don't get it wet. You put it back out, let the sun dry, like dry aku, right? But she just told me a trick, a hack. Do the same thing, but put it in a dehydrator. And then you add the red licorice to it, or the black licorice, you know, and melt that down with 5-star. You know, everybody got that. That is the red mango seed. You ever had that?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, here we go. You're way too young.
Yeah. Well, you can get them at one crack seed shop or.
I don't know if they
get
do it there. They got some red ones, but that thing is so good. I'm talking to you, but my mouth's getting
Yeah,
warm.
I know. We're gonna start wrapping up soon so we can go eat.
Yeah.
But what do you think the evolution of poke is?
Oh, it's not going to stop. It's here to stay. It's here to stay for two reasons. One, it's unique. Secondly, it's a great healthy product. You know, a lot of guys, they tell me, "Hey, chef, you know the mercury. I said, do me a favor, turn all the lights off, see if I'm glowing. I've been eating poke all my life, almost every day. If I'm glowing, then I got a problem." But there are some people that their bodies creates a lot of mercury, even if they eat just a little bit poke. So you know, it's a medical problem.
It depends on the person, though.
Right? Everybody's body is
different biology.
Well, you know, it's like some of my friends on the Big Island. They can eat ulua, and they can eat what you call that kahala, knowing that there is ciguataria. Not knowing that they have, but it don't bother them. But then somebody who eats it gets the ciguataria. You know what that is, right?
No.
So ciguataria is I'm not a doctor, but it's when you eat something hot and it comes cold. It kind of affects your nervous system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's in the fish in a kind of like I don't want to use the worm, because some of the local fishermen, when there's a worm, they said, okay, that's the one you want to eat because the ciguataria don't live with the worm. You know, it can't.
Oh,
land.
okay.
Yeah, it's a parasite, like supposedly.
Yeah,
I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor.
Okay, but it's just something you don't want to get.
Yeah, ciguataria. And the University of Hawaii worked really hard in creating a test kit. They take the fish, you put it in there, and you look, okay. And then some of my local friends are really kind of funny, but they give the cat foams in the mouth the next day, and then they got ciguataria. But the cat won't die, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So they get I mean, it's so funny. You know, there's some really funny stories, but man, I don't want to share those. But,
yeah, maybe part 2 in the future.
So you know, I mean, so your body gets immune to it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. So I think the more you eat, the more immune system your body builds that immune to it, right?
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, long live.
But
poke.
yeah, so yeah, lovely. Poke is gonna be here for a while. It's just a lot of people making a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just proud of what's happening with it, and I don't see any. I mean, it's funny when I don't do a poke at a big event. I get like, hey, you know, in the beginning, but now they just go like, don't forget the poke now. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's like going to a concert, and you're waiting for them to do that one song,
and they don't.
Yeah. So that's you at poke.
Hey, they go like this. I want my money back.
Yeah.
Man. They didn't sing "I Remember You" by Don Ho. But yeah, you know, so like I like, and you know, going to Mexico, man, the fish there is like Hawaii.
Yeah.
You know, the funny part about Mexico, every time I go to, they always give me a bluefin tuna. Oh my God, it's like getting a cow and getting a fillet. You know, really.
Yeah.
The bluefin, so much oil in it. That's why I do a different kind of poke out there. I do more of a lighter poke, you know, because you got a lot of oil in the fish. Kind of season it, and then of course the guy in Australia, kind of like he got this where they take the fish, and they kind of like cure it, hang it and kind of like put it in this refrigerator. That kind of like how to do the steak, age the fish. That's a good thing to do. I do that out there with the bluefin tuna. Oh, it's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just gotta go follow you around when you travel.
Yeah, you should
and
come.
I'll eat good.
You're wasting your time with Lanai.
I know, what am I doing here? Yeah. Sorry, Lanai. I'm switching teams.
No, don't switch. You go hang with him. He's a good brother. Yeah, so we have a lot of fun, but more importantly, we eat really well. But I like to dig into the culture of where they're from. And I got, those guys in Mexico, man, they take me to street tacos. They take me to Oaxaca. The mole out there is like so different. Go Jalisco, drink some of the finest tequila in the world. Because that finest tequila in the world never leaves Mexico. It's funny, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, we're coming to the back end of the podcast, and I like to ask all of my guests the same question about keeping it aloha. So I want to know, in your life, how do you keep it aloha?
One, never forget where you're born and raised from. And look at our kupunas for what they've done. Follow their wishes and their dreams and their footsteps. And live it. Just live to that lifestyle, and a lot of respect to our kupunas and our for founding fathers of Hawaii.
100%.
Yeah, that you can never forget that. And that keeps our culture alive, And that happens from your upbringing. Sometimes when you see somebody does something very horrific, you kind of feel bad, but then you ask yourself, who raised this person? Because I'm going to be honest with you right now, Kamaka. When everybody was born, somebody whispered in your ear, look at this angel. So we were all born angels first. whether it was a friend, a grandma, a doctor, a nurse. You can never say, nobody ever told me that. Somebody told you that. When they held you in their arms and whispered in your ear, look at this angel. So we're all angels. It's just somewhere around the route we went south.
All the influences of life.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What is one thing you wish people knew about you that they don't?
Oh boy! After your podcast here, Kamaka, I think they know everything about me.
I feel like we probably could learn a lot more about you. I feel like it would take probably like 5 episodes to get your whole life story and everything you've done.
What people don't really know about me that I really want to share right now is that I cannot say no. That's the hardest challenge I get.
Oh, it's easy to get you on the podcast because you just said yes right away.
That's right. I can be called on an event, knowing that I have something right the day before, and I'll say, yeah, okay, I'll do it. I just kind of, or if my wife would go like, okay, you got to give this bill to somebody because they owe us for this. I get a hard time for doing that. That is my, I always say I cannot cold call on the sales. But I can somehow roundabout way sell something. Like our cooking show for a sponsor. I was very thankful. We had Otani Produce was on the air for a long time with us, and then they moved on to bigger and better things, and then Ham's Kimchi. But I can't go and say, hey, come on, let's keep this thing going. I cannot do that. I think that's why salespeople are different, right?
Yeah, I'm not a salesperson.
Yeah, so that's the thing I want people to know about me is that I get a hard time saying no, I just enjoy talking and people watching. Yeah.
You're gonna get a bunch of DMs of people asking for $20 after this episode.
Oh yeah. Well, as long as it's for food, I give it. But if it's not for food,
they say, hey, I thought you said you can't say no.
Yeah, well, I'm going to send them to Kamaka. I say, Kamaka said he got that.
Kamaka will say no.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah,
okay.
That's kind of like what. Does that make sense, Kamaka?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. You've accomplished so much in your career, from awards to, TV shows to, growing and raising a beautiful family and cultivating a nice relationship with you and your wife and the community. But what would you say you're most proud of?
Oh man, I think the family would be top of the list, but we all know that. But I think watching Poke grow, watching Poke to be where it is today, I think that's the most rewarding thing, and then utilizing some of the local products that we have here that's very unique, like ulu, and taking it to places like it's never been.
Yeah. Well, I've had ulu poke.
Yeah, we've all had ulu poke. Yeah. But watching Todd and Mutiny Island Vodka over in St. Croix take something that we grew up with that's making it one of the best vodkas that are out there in the vodka world right now.
And they make it with ulu?
Ulu flower, yeah.
Wow, because they, I think Lanai was trying to make some sort of alcoholic drink. I don't know if it was vodka or tequila with kalo.
Yeah, everybody's trying to do it because Sammy Hagar with Shep Gordon had done a great job, with Cabo Wabo. Sold it for a few dollars and done very well. So everybody's got one. Everybody wants to have one. But, it's a tricky business. It's like when I was asked by some of well, not some, but one of I'm not going to mention names because it's, respect for them, but some of the NBA players are asked to put a restaurant. And I says, how much you want to invest in this restaurant? Oh, maybe $5 million. I said, okay, you take half of that. You make 10s, 20s, and $5 bills. You stand at any corner in LA and you start passing it out. And he goes, oh, I'll run out of money. I said, that's exactly what would happen if you don't know what you're doing. So it's always nice looking in and going like if you watch, some of the top chefs in Hawaii, oh, I want to be like them. Hey, you can. But you know what? There's a lot of challenges.
Yeah, you gotta know what you're going into.
Hey, I tell people when you turn that door, when you put that key in that door and you open that door, you gotta make sure you put that in when it's good and when it's bad, or when you're sick, or when you feel like you had enough, you still got to put that key in that door. Because it's exciting in the beginning. I got lucky because of my family. Those guys really, they drugged me through it when I was still working at the hotel and putzing around and marketing and doing promotions and stuff. They're the ones kept that thing on track, you know. And my wife never got paid for 8 years. You know, so if you can get that kind of support, go ahead and do it. But rare, you know. But that's the challenge, right? It looks easy from looking outside, looking in.
Yeah, very true. All right, well, before we come to the end, I got to know, what is your life hack? If you have more life hacks, I'm sure you have a ton.
I do have a life hack, and I kind of follow it. Get up in the morning, get up early, put a smile on your face, and let that smile radiate to everybody you come in contact with. That's always been my life hack.
Yeah.
You know, and be happy. You know, just be happy for the 20 guys that like you.
Don't focus on the 20 guys that don't like you. Focus
because that will never work.
Yeah. Okay, that's beautiful. And you have a great smile right now. It's putting me in a great mood. I think there's even studies about even if you're sad and you fake a smile, like you're just like this, it will change your psychology of your brain.
Just remember, it's like saying aloha. There's a way to say aloha where you feel it. And there's a way to say aloha where it's plastic. So you want to say aloha where you feel it, where you feel the love, where you feel like our ancestors had said it, where you feel it's coming from your heart. That's an important thing. And that's like waking up with that smile. You want to get that real smile. And it's from the time you get up to the time you go to bed, you know. It's funny, but I tell you what, I believe in that, you know. I mean, it really sets you on a good pace, you know. You know, I mean, I'm old now. Well, I'm up there in age. I shouldn't use the word old. I'm up there in age. And I kind of sometimes, you know, feel like, oh, man, do I really have to get up, you know? But then, you know, I get that, boom, there's that smile. I'm getting up. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to do this. You know, my wife's always on my case, man. I'm like a slug at certain times. But you know what? She's the spark plug, too, man. She gets me up. Going doing this, doing that. What's your schedule like today? I got this, I got that. Well, you didn't tell me. Okay, now I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so yeah.
Maybe flipping it from I have to do this to I get to do this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm so glad I'm going to get to do this.
Grateful I get to do this.
Yeah, wait. No, come on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Awesome.
You feel good?
Totally, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, well, I can't get you out of here just yet because we have my last fast 5 questions. These are rapid fire answers, okay?
Okay.
Favorite thing to cook?
Chili,
okay. Favorite thing to do when not working?
Watching sports.
Oh, which sports?
I like soccer, I like football, I like baseball.
Who's your team?
Football, like any team that has local players on.
Okay, so
and
Miami.
Then, Miami, Washington, all the Guardians.
Cleveland Browns,
of course, the quarterback. Come on, and then the tackle.
Yeah.
You know, he's Hawaii. He's got Hawaii.
I know we support Dylan, but it's hard to be a Browns fan.
I know, but hey, you know what? I go out there a lot, and I was. Wait, now I promised them because where we work, the convention center is right across from the Brown Stadium, right? So they goes, the Brown. I said, wait now, you got Dylan. You got a quarterback coming from Hawaii. They're going to turn the tides on. You guys are going to be in a Super Bowl one year.
Okay, I hope so.
Okay.
Favorite guilty pleasure?
Sneaking out and going golfing.
Hey, nice. I just got into golfing.
Hey, good. That's a great sport. You know what about golfing? You'll know a person real quick when you play golf.
Yeah, because you spend like 5 hours with them.
Well, that too, but then you can see the guys kind of like...
if they get frustrated.
And slamming clubs. You go, okay.
Okay.
But then when you count his strokes, you go like, what you had? You go, I par. You go, what about the 2 was over there? 7. You learn real quick.
Okay, well, that's one thing we got to do is golf together one day.
Okay.
Favorite way to recharge?
Music. I love listening to music. I can go on YouTube and listen like oldies. Today, following our local talents. I like, I like, I don't know, if you were to get to my my playlist, you'll find a lot of Stan Walker, man, come on, you know. You got a beautiful voice. Maole, you know.
Yeah. Hiawatha,
Ekolu. Oh, man. Ekolu's new song, Dance. Oh, my God. Chicken Skin. Some of the younger guys, Vehile, some of the young kids, Anuhea. You got to be careful when you're saying these things, because there's a lot of great Hawaiian musicians,
yeah.
right? Kime, how can you not forget her?
Yeah. It's add everybody into it.
She's yeah.
Big pot of stew. Everybody can be inside of it.
So that's my really. I can't stay for. So I hardly sleep 3 hours. Like I was up at 12:30 this morning.
How many hours do you get of sleep?
3-4 hours, max.
That works for you?
Yeah, you can't see my
That's crazy.
My wife thought, man, your sacks look pretty. Look like.
I can't tell.
Yeah.
There's something called short sleep syndrome where there's actual people that only need like
That's me.
3 hours of sleep.
That's me.
And you feel like you're totally rested.
Yeah. So I went a few years ago. I went to the doctor and said, hey, I kind of hardly sleep. I went to check. So it's okay, sleep apnea test. So they did that. So the girl was laughing when I got treated in the morning, woke up. I go, what's so funny? It was a someone girl too. It was kind of funny, local someone girl. She goes, oh, uncle, man, you tossing around, you farting and everything. I said, what you mean? She goes, yeah. She filmed back. I said, what does that mean? She goes, yeah, get cameras in the room, right? All these wires all over you. She goes, I'm not the doctor to make the decision, but I don't think you got sleep apnea. Yeah, so that was funny. So I don't have sleep apnea, but yeah, I think I got that.
That short sleep syndrome.
And then, if I nap in the afternoon, man, boom, I'm like I slept for days.
That's crazy.
If I get that power
I
nap.
have a friend like that. That's how I know about it.
Yes. Oh, no kidding. I'm going to ask my doctor about that.
Yeah,
but
ask.
I don't sleep, man. I'm just.
And you feel good. If you feel
I feel good.
you might.
Right now, I feel like I slept 8 hours.
That's crazy.
But then, of course, being with you too, you're very happy.
And then it goes to like biology too, of like some people were hunter gatherers, some people stayed up during the night to watch the fire.
Yeah.
So maybe you're more of the night owl that was up watching the fire,
right?
Other than waking up early and having to, or you could be both. You might be a hybrid of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, because like I said, I got up at 12:30 this morning, so I got up. Then I was kind of like, should I go back to sleep? Then I was going to take one Tylenol PM for going to knock out. Then I said, I get sluggish later on. So I stayed up. I just did some work. I'm working on some menus that I got to get for an event coming up Mexico, getting that stuff lined up. And then all of a sudden I said, it's 4 o'clock. I said, shoots. I must stay up. Then I got on the music and I just listened to my music. Got me in that nice happy mood,
Wow.
Then I took a shower and then went to the airport, got on a plane.
You're not human.
I saw Mike TV crew guys, they tell me, sleep. How you know? I said, we can't tell, man. You're funny today, so you hardly sleep last night.
That's funny. All right, last one. Favorite travel destination?
South Pacific, New Zealand, Milford Sounds, Christchurch, Mata Mata, where they shot Lords of the Ring.
Oh, I can't wait to go there.
The people there, Polynesia. I love all of Polynesia. I just, like I said, 30 years with Crystal Cruises have given me the opportunity to see the world at its best. So many different cultures, so many different history. The Vatican is another wow, you can just go wow. Jackson, Wyoming, the Tetons, that's wow, I don't know, Alaska. Oh, man. Talon Lodge out in Sitka, Alaska. Wow, that's a wow. Yeah, so, worldwide, So I was thinking, when I get older and I do pass and I want to maybe scatter, maybe I scatter a little bit here.
A little bit, yeah, that'd be cool.
But,
you got a piece of you everywhere.
Yeah, but, I'm just like, I don't know, maybe. Or maybe just in final closure of my mind while I'm taking the last breath, maybe, okay, I'm just going everywhere.
Yeah. Awesome.
I like that,
Yeah. Well, excited to, follow you for the rest of your career.
Whatever's
however
left.
long that may be, hopefully a really long time. Super thankful for you flying in to Oahu so we could do this. We got some food that we got to eat after, so we're not getting rid of each other right now,
perfect.
but we're just closing out the podcast. Is there anything else you want to share? If not, tell us where we can find you.
You can find me in Kona, up in my house, just hiding up there.
Yeah, address 1417.
Yeah,
Kailua-Kona Road.
XYZ. Well, always when you see me, don't be. It's funny. Every time I pass some people, they go, you can hear what. Most of the wives go, I think it's Sam Choy.
Yeah.
I'll stop. Yeah, I am Sam Choy. How you guys doing? Let's take a picture. Yeah, take a picture, right?
I hear that too. Like,
I do. Yeah, I do that all the time. I love doing that. I mean, that's just been myself and culture. But in closing, Kamaka, I just want to take this time to thank you very much for this opportunity. And I'm so proud that you're a Hilo boy, Big Island boy. I've been living there over 30 plus years. I love the Big Island. I like where I live too, where I grew up into, but I like the Big Island.
Big Island, best island.
Yeah, my kids grew up there, and they really enjoy it there too. And the people there are nice, and the water, the ocean's amazing. I mean, come on. You know, fishing is great out there. Yeah, just really, coffee is good.
Yep.
The ulu's good. And our restaurant that's coming up going to be amazing.
It's going to be the best.
It's going to be the best. It's going to be amazing. Yeah.
Right on. Well, follow along. I think you're at Chef Sam Choy on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay, so make sure you follow that. Check us out this weekend at Junbi in Waikiki. Shout out to Keona, I believe is her name. She's one of the workers that worked there. We just did some sampling of the drinks. It was really awesome. She was over there. I heard she's a fan of the podcast. So shout out to her. I'll see you guys Saturday. And mahalo, Chef well, that's hard to Chef Sam.
Say it 20 times real quick.
Yeah, Chef Sam. I'm just going to say mahalo, Sam, for joining us on the Keep It Low podcast. Spread love. Be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. We have new episodes every Thursday, so make sure you follow us and leave a review. I'm your host, Kamaka. Remember to always keep it aloha.